The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. The topics discussed may include drugs, alcohol, or be sexual in nature. This show is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. I'm serious. It's dirty. Really, really dirty. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage, sit back, and let's get this fucking show started.
Assemble! You're listening to Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books, and your live weekly look into the industry and the fandom that surrounds it. We are the Fantastic Forum, coming to you live and direct from our studios around Los Angeles. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you should stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. On the line, he is our riddle inside of an enigma, trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him, you love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Next, we have our intrepid senior reporter. He's next in line for the cowl. He's our resident Dark Knight detective. It's Oz.
Should I just wear the bucket?
You should just wear the bucket.
It'll be a hat. My head is too big for it.
No, Lord.
I planned this out poorly.
There it is. Next, he's the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum. He's our non-vulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses Magnum.
What's up, man?
And as for myself, my name is Lawrence Young. What?
I'm letting the people know where to find us.
Oh, okay. That's fair. Look, I appreciate that. As for myself, my name is Lawrence Young. They call me Mayor Young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. We got a great show for you today. We're going to be talking to you all about Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, #2. We're also going to be talking to you about Creature, Volume 1. We're going to talk to you about Batman, the Smile Killer. And yeah. Look, you didn't know I was going to get that right, did you?
I didn't know I was going to get it right.
you haven't yet. You haven't yet. Huh?
When I was searching for it, I was hitting the killer smile.
Right. Yeah, it turns out that's not a thing. Yeah. And we'll also bring you the latest and greatest in comic book news and, of course, whatever else it is that you all want to talk about. But before we do all that, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, who, without him, this whole show wouldn't have happened, would not be possible. So thank you, Scott Rubin. We also want to thank our listeners, all of you that are listening, no matter where you are, because as of today, I don't even know where people are necessarily watching, listening. Like, you might be on Podbean, you might be on in the Discord All Games chat room, You might be watching us live on YouTube. I don't know where you are, but if you're listening, if you can hear my voice right now, thank you. We appreciate you.
Are we simulcasting on Podbean?
No,
Oh, damn. Well, then
Well-
you're not on Podbean.
but you will be listening on Podbean tomorrow if you want to hear just the audio component.
That's fair. Look, I'm not mad at that. Not mad at that. We can tell the people in Podbean or that went to Podbean to come to Fantastic Forums YouTube. It turns out they know where YouTube is.
I feel like this might be a silly question to bring up now, but
That feels very on brand for Oz, so that's okay. Go for it.
somebody's recording this audio, right?
Yeah.
It
I see now the hesitation.
Well,
kinda-
it stays on YouTube,
right.
and then from there I just rip the audio.
I don't know what a YouTube is.
Yeah. I think Al Gore made it. It's the tubes. Damn,
I
that's
thought
an old person joke. People are
I
like,
thought
what
it
is he
was-
talking about?
I thought it was a Bono thing.
There's somebody listening that was like, what's Al Green have to do with this? I don't get it. Wait, that might be an older person joke.
Yeah.
Going the wrong direction. I'll be like Charlie Chaplin next.
We're going back in time. I start with the card, and then you go into something nobody else knows about.
Right. That's all good. So, yeah, I mean, I think we're going to start with the news, but I felt like there was something else we were supposed to talk about before that, but I'm probably wrong.
I mean, there's always stuff to talk about, but you don't want to fill up those 3 hours. A good chunk of real important shit that we should be talking about instead of comic shit.
I know I was going to briefly describe a couple scenes from Becky.
Oh, that's what it was. Listen, I saw I went to go try to watch Becky, and I found that the only places I could watch Becky, I would have to pay. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to pay for this, but I'm like, let me go look at the trailer.
Before Joe talks about Becky, I want to say that I just rented it. I paid $3.99 for it, and by the time I was done, I wish I would have just bought it. It's $10. It just came out. They didn't get theater distribution, and they deserve all my $10.
Really?
Yeah.
It just looked like a homicidal Home Alone to me.
And like,
Home Alone is a classic. What do you?
so imagine Kevin McAllister fucking slicing people's eyes out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that Home Alone is bad. I'm just saying that I don't know that that's my particular cup of
If
tea.
you like Home Alone, you'll love Becky.
I think somebody did the math where like a doctor watched it, and that kid killed those two guys like 5 times each.
Yeah. And, there's some theories, like fan theories, that Kevin McAllister grew up to be Jigsaw from Saw.
Oh, that would be hilarious. That actually kind of makes a lot of sense.
They point out a lot of stuff, and it kind of, it kind of fits. But it's a little bit reachy, but it still fits.
Fair. Okay. So yeah, let's talk about Becky, Jay.
Okay, so Becky, the premise is some white nationalists hide a key inside a cabin, and the family that owns the cabin is there. And when the guys come for the key, Becky has it, and so the guy kills her father, and Becky decides to kill all of them.
Oh, damn, they kill her dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's his favorite, Joel McHale.
Yeah, I did see that once I saw the trailer, because that's why I was like, I didn't know what you were talking about in our group chat. I was like, what is Moses talking about?
He's like the only guy I know that's a Joel McHale fan, and he won't watch Becky. He likes Home Alone and won't watch Becky.
Listen, dozens of us love Joel McHale, okay? Dozens. There's one legion of fans.
Let me know. If you would let me know you were looking for it, I could have let you watch my copy.
Ah, see, I probably should have done that. But
He wasn't
look,
trying to watch it. He wasn't trying to watch it.
listen, I went to go look for it. Like if I could have found it, I would have watched it, or at least tried.
There was actually just one part that I wanted Lawrence to watch. And it's the scene where Kevin James, his first encounter with Becky, she takes a key and jams it into his eye.
Oh, Jesus, no thanks.
He ends up going blind in that eye, and it also ends up unlicensed from his socket.
Oh.
And so he's trying to get his friend to, like, cut it out. And so the friend reaches in the drawer and grabs safety scissors. And he's trying to cut that thing with safety scissors. And Kevin James is just screaming because it hurts so bad. And he's like, what are you doing?
Why wouldn't he just use a
then
knife?
Because he's a fucking
He just
idiot.
grabbed the first thing he saw. And so Kevin James grabs a knife, puts it out on the table, and just slices it off himself. Like, not gonna lie, I turned away for like a second. Like,
I definitely don't want to see that. Like, Kevin James playing a neo-Nazi was so against type that it got me interested. Like, I didn't even recognize him. Like, I was like, wow, like this fool looks like I mean, he has a swastika on his head.
And I'm just entwined in it.
Yeah. And I was just like, dude, like, that's hardcore. Like, and you know, the writing sounded decent from the trailer, because like the way that, you know, how he was talking, like how he kind of got into the door of the family's home, and like his introduction, and he talking about like the pit bulls and breeding and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, dude, I mean, that's actually pretty good. Like, you know, he was basically insulting the family because it's I guess the guy, Joe McHale, has a black wife or girlfriend or whatever. I don't know what it is.
Girlfriend.
Yeah, because I know it wasn't Becky. I mean, I know it wasn't Becky's mom, because, you know.
Because you're racist.
No, it's not racist. It's just genetics. And, you know, look, it turns out Kevin James, neo-Nazi, was right. It's like, that's not what mixed kids look like.
That's the title of this episode. Lawrence Mayor Young, neo-Nazis is right.
No. I did not say that.
Well, ... neo-Nazi.
See? Like, listen. If you don't stop it with this, Moses. But yeah, man, I was intrigued. I really was. And I could tell from the trailer too that it was going to be like a little gross, but I was willing to like give it a shot. But Jay has definitely steered me away now, because I'm like, I don't want to watch that scene. Like, if Jay cringes, then I might just throw up and die from choking on vomit. Like, I'm just like, nah, I don't want to die that way. I want to live.
So
I want to live.
The when Joe said he wanted you to see a scene, and I hadn't seen the trailer in depth like that, so I was like, okay, I want to watch it. And then nobody had it streaming for free. I thought it was gonna be like Shudder or, you know, Netflix, but it wasn't. It turned out to be Amazon for the lowest rental fee, and it's a Redbox movie, so you can probably get it at Redbox.
Yeah.
And I saw it was $9.99 to buy, and I'm like, But then I'm like, you know what? I'll rent it, because yeah. And then the whole time, because the way that Joe brought it up, I'm like, well, I'm in anticipation watching this movie to see the what Larry won't like. And then Emily asked me, like, why did you pick this movie to watch? Like, well, Joe's going to talk about it. I kind of want to know. I'm intrigued already as it is. And then the way he brought it up, and I go, and Larry won't watch it. And then as we were watching it, she goes, why is Larry such a pussy?
Tell Emily, because pussies are strong and flexible. That's why.
And they can ruin your life.
I mean, only if you do them wrong.
That actually, I thought about that when I was watching Harley Quinn, because they called her a pussy. And then that was the perfect opportunity for say, yeah, I can take a beating and wreck your life. And she didn't say that. But that's for that review next week.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I love the movie. I don't know if we're doing a formal review or not, but go watch it. Pay the $3.99. I would buy it. Like, if I can find the Blu-ray, I'll just get it from Redbox and not return it.
I will say,
I know,
like,
I bought it,
Jay.
and I'm not disappointed.
Yeah, Did it come?
I bought it, and I'm not disappointed.
Did it come with special features?
You know, I haven't checked. Like the there are no special features on Amazon, but there might be on movies everywhere. I haven't checked yet.
Okay, I know. Like you talk about Kevin James playing that role like so off type, and I was like, Emily was like, I can't watch this because I can't see him like that, and I was kind of like that too. But he did do a good job.
Oh, dude, I was just saying, like the acting in just the trailer I saw seemed pretty top notch.
He did a great job, but I felt at first I'm like, man, they're trying to make this guy like be a villain. Like Kevin James is kind of baby faced, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But not with that beard though.
Well, with the beard, even still, I'm like, can't they just give him a scar or an eye patch? And
and then they took his eye.
Then they took his eye, gave him an eye patch, and then he looked even more menacing. But in the process of, I'm thinking, I'm like, man, but I think for him, an eye patch might not do it. He might need 2 eye patches to like really be evil, And but that didn't happen. He only got the 1 eye patch, and then they took the good eye with the lawnmower.
Tiger Claw's in chat. What's up, Tiger Claw? Happy that you joined us, man. Kevin James as a neo-Nazi, he says, which, I mean, it's no joke. It's no joke. Also,
honestly, that was one of the things that intrigued me about the movie also. Like, I liked that it looked violent, but seeing Kevin James, like, in a non-comedy role as, like, this hardcore bad guy, like, I wanted to see it.
And, it was a risk that the filmmakers took, because he's known, he can be typecasted if you want to call it, but he does have some acting ability and he's funny. So it's like, but he's got a name. And one of the things I like about this movie, again, I don't know if we're doing a formal review or not, but just these thoughts.
We're in it now. We're in the thick of it.
I wrote in my little index card. But basically they said, I said that it just, they took a risk, but it's like, they're going to show this violence against this little girl, like 13, 14-year-old girl. And it's like, I feel like they're going to pull punches. And nah, man, they power bombed her and choke slammed her.
What?
And the dude that choke slammed her is like this giant guy. Like, I think he's one of those like Giant Gonzalez types or a wrestler. Yeah. I've seen him in other movies before, but I don't remember what, and I forgot to look at it. But he right after he choke slams her, he just punches her in the chest so that she can't breathe and just stays still. And then at that point, that scene in the movie is worth the $10 because when she catches her breath, he just says, "Look, all the shit you've done here, it leaves a stain, and I got too many stains. So if I can just save you, let you live, so you don't keep on this path of killing like this, like that's worth it." And just when the camera pulled out and it's this giant dude killer white supremacist guy telling this kid to not go down this path of revenge and killing, and then the way she's dressed, like the clothes is a striped shirt, green and yellow, and then the grass is green with the yellow flowers, like that duality of colors of contrasting each other, and she's at this impasse, and then she really goes on the killing spree after already killing 2 people, is the fucking shit. Like, I'll put her up against Liam Neeson or John Wick any day.
I said, like, all I've seen is the trailer, and I will say I was buying that this little girl wanted to kill everybody. I was just like, I was like, I don't know if I want to see this, and it wasn't because of like, oh, this looks dumb. It was just like, this might be too intense for me. Like, this little girl looks like she's gonna kill everybody,
and she's like a Jason Bourne, but like psychopathic because she's in pain from her mom dying, and she's angry that her dad's remarrying, and then this happens, and she's like, man, fuck this. And they killed one of her dogs, a la John Wick.
She is born in Wick. Wow.
But then the other dog was like alive, and they did some good shit with him too, that I was like, man, this is shit.
Crazy.
But I tell you what, man, this movie is worth the $10. Like, Larry, I'll buy it and watch it next week. Tell me what you think. Because aside from the gory spots, like, they're not as much because it has a horror aesthetic and feel, kind of like a Purge type. But it's a lot of it is this girl's arc of going in this this crossroads in her life, like coming of age and dealing with death and grieving, and
Good.
realizing she's alone. So yeah,
I feel like if it was a comic,
Yeah, there's
I would
only
probably
really like
read it and really like it.
yeah, there's only like 3 parts you won't like. Like everything else, you should be able to handle.
The beginning, the middle, and up the end.
For real, right? For real.
Is Joe
No,
McHale
there's
getting?
just 3 deaths.
What's happening to Joe
Kind of
McHale?
rough.
What's happening to Joe McHale in that image? Is he is that butt stuff?
no, they're putting a s'more sword into his face or belly.
Oh, poor Star Man.
Jesus. That sucks.
It actually looks like the staff because it's glowing from the heat.
Oh, jeez.
Like if that was Stargirl, like it'd be the shit.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
While we're on Stargirl, like I found out today that they only have like about 1,000,002 listeners. I mean watchers, and the ratings are really low.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
well.
we'll see how it goes, but because Howard Stern watches it and he's like, I don't know why I watch it, but I love it. But it follows, the Berlanti formula.
He sounds like Oz.
Yeah, everything that he said was what Oz said, so I think he's listening and stealing our
Actually, no, it doesn't follow the Berlanti formula because there's no person on the chair on the computer.
Not yet.
Oh no, that's true. Watch the last episode, man. There's an incredible like all-out battle with the new Justice Society and Sportsmaster and Tigress.
Yeah, I saw the thumbnail and I was like intrigued.
It's a good fight. Good action, especially because they're all like Stargirl at this point is the only one that has any clue what she's doing because she just recruited these new people. So it's a cool. Even if you just watch that scene and it goes on for a good 5 or 6 minutes. I mean, it's a long battle.
I don't think I can do it. I mean, I'll
do
it.
Just that scene. I mean, just the last episode.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's a good episode. Joe likes it. I could tell by the way he's not saying anything.
No, I'm a little behind. I'm actually behind on Stargirl. The new season of Summer Camp Island just came out, so I was spending a lot of time watching that, and also trying to get current on Craig of the Creek. So,
okay, I feel like
busy.
I feel like we're moving on. Have we said how many severed eyeballs this is getting?
Right.
That's what I assume we're going with.
I would give it 4.
4 severed eyeballs out of 5 from Jay. What about you, Moses?
I would give it 4. I was gonna give it 5. I love the aesthetic and everything. Cinematography is great. The effects are good. They're all practical and they're great. And what kept me though was the question of what was the key for. Now it's not a deal breaker, but I didn't know how the key came to be there. I can suppose things based on what the dialogue was up, but I don't get a definitive answer, at least to how it got there, or what it's for. But it is kind of one of those things that it's just like a MacGuffin kind of that just lasts the whole movie. So that would have given it that extra, some kind of closure on that would push me to that 5 severed eyeballs.
Gotcha. So I'm looking
I
into.
just really like that they made it clear that Becky's not a good person.
Right. Like. And it's not even like, oh, she's just a psychopath. It's like, yeah, she had those tendencies, but they drove her out. It's like her secret origin,
Right.
She grows up to be Jigsaw's assistant.
She'll kill Jigsaw, man.
No, I don't think she'll be that bad, but she's definitely gonna hurt people. Like, these aren't the last people she kills.
She's either Atomic Blonde or Hit Girl.
Okay.
Nobody saw Atomic Blonde. Just me, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I saw it. I saw it in theaters.
Oh.
Strong female character and a comic book movie.
So Lawrence didn't watch
which Lawrence didn't see.
Right. Whoa. How you
Too many strikes against it.
How you gonna single me out with the rest of America? Like no one saw that joint.
Yeah,
I'll mess around and be like, oh, you hate strong female led movies like everyone else in America when it came to Atomic Blonde, even though we all saw Wonder Woman. Whatever. Get out of here with this. I'm looking into chat. Lloyd's in chat. Says, what's up, FF? Also, I see Rich is in chat. He's like, now with video. Wow. Thanks, Rich. What up?
Yeah.
What chat are you looking at?
I'm looking into the chat for
It came up on our
StreamYard, which is the YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, I'm on Discord. My bad.
You can be on Discord too. Nothing wrong with that.
There's a lot of happenings there too.
Yeah, Tiger Claw's posting furry makeout sessions.
Also, Lloyd did agree with you.
It's not the rap porn, is it?
No, it's in the latest Turtle issue from IDW, where I guess it's Raph and Alopex. I don't know how to pronounce that. Alopex.
Ooh, I like her.
It's Raphael and Burr are making out.
Lloyd agreed with you, Oz, talking about Stargirl. The last episode of Stargirl was amazing. He said the fights are some of the best I've ever seen on TV. I don't believe that. Like,
let's not get crazy, but it was
right.
It was very well done.
I feel like Lloyd watches more TV than that. Like, like technically you watch Daredevil on Netflix, which is technically TV.
Here's the thing. It's just it was interesting seeing Sportsmaster fight like how Sportsmaster should, like throwing baseballs and like just weird shit like that.
Okay, there it is. Hex in chat. He says F for Oz. I don't know why you get.
Why do you get an F?
Well, hey, look, because you're Oz, I think, but I'm not certain. Maybe Hecht will go ahead and let us know.
It's probably
now
mine is the weakest studio. Like, there's all these wires above me, but they do nothing to help the show. This USB here is a light that I probably should have plugged in an hour ago.
So now, if people want to get in on the show, I don't know how. Huh?
They can't.
No, I don't think that they can't. I mean, I know that there's a way for people to, like, if they wanted to jump in via their phones or their tablets and stuff, they can do it, and they come into the studio, and I can add in, like, I think we can get up to 6 people on the screen at once.
Oh, okay.
Now, how that happens, I'm not 100% certain.
This
like,
is
I guess
official one, right?
Right. I think I gotta send actually, you know what? I think I could put this this link into the chat, and
Also,
yeah.
there's got to be a way, because people don't want their face on camera. There's got to be a way where we can hook up Skype to this, and then they could call on Skype, and we could patch in the audio.
Yeah, and just so you all know, those of you that are watching, we're kind of just testing some stuff out. Like, this is the first time we're using StreamYard officially, to which I'm sure it's StreamYard because they have their branding everywhere. It's the free version. We're just giving it a try. And so, we're not married to this or whatever. If you have opinions in regards to what we should be using to stream video and whatnot, we'll listen to them. And we might, who knows, next week we might come with a different streaming option just to kind of see what it's like. But we're definitely trying to make this video thing, we're trying to give it a go. So,
Okay, Tiger Claw is getting disgusting in chat. He posted an image. It's a comic book image of Raphael kissing Ninjara, but it looks like he's eating half her face.
Well, he has a big mouth.
Yeah, but she has a snout.
I don't know what Ninjara looks like.
She looks like a fox, a red fox.
So that means you have to kiss her nose too, because part of the taste for dogs.
Yeah, but her nose is like tickling his tonsils. The way this is, man, I can't post it on any of these chats. You got to go to Discord.
Yeah.
I'm not in Discord right now, So unfortunately,
I mean, I'm sure you can get a link for it.
yeah, you can put a link in there. Well, maybe you can't do that.
I'll
Oz.
try it.
You know, no,
yeah.
Tiger Claw's in chat. Tiger Claw, put that same link into the chat for us in the YouTube chat. And for those that saw the chat link or the link that I put in chat in the YouTube chat, if you want to jump on camera, be a part of the show, I'll link you in for a little bit. You know, I can't say you'll be able to stay for the whole show, but I can say that you'll be able to join I'll have you appear on the show definitely. So I only can do 6 people at a time, so that means we only technically have 2 additional spots at a time. But I think more than that can go into the studio. So anyway, so we should do some news, huh?
Yeah, let me play this music.
Comic book news.
We should have a
comic book
like Kurt. Well, not like that, but like we need a graphic for the news to put.
Yeah. Hey man, listen. It's a whole new world, right?
Old timey microphone rotating with the 2 thunderbolts with an F in the middle, like the RCA font.
I don't know which one of you out there is the graphic designer that just heard that. That's like, oh, we're gonna make that for FF. But feel free. We'll send you some free comics. How about that? Like that's what'd you say?
I'll send you Action Comics #1.
Reprint. but it'll be 9.8 graded though.
Yeah.
9.8.
Not only is it a reprint, it's the Loot Crate edition. It's a reprint of a reprint with extra branding. But it's Action Comics #1.
Right. Because you demanded it, the reprint of Action Comics #1.
Second printing.
That's hilarious that it'd be second printing, because it probably would be. That's too funny, man. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay, cool. Shout out to Derek H. He's like, it's a TV show. Look, I appreciate you saying that, Derek H, even though I know we don't look like a TV show yet. Yeah.
We look like TMZ. Like
I know, right?
We're ugly enough to be on TV if we're on TMZ.
Hilarity.
You see what can be done, Derek, if you put some effort into it.
Hey,
whoa!
It took everybody the whole quarantine to do it, like the beginning of it. We're already on the second wave, and we're finally doing it.
Oh man! Here's the sad part.
But Derek killed all games, so.
Oh no, that's definitely not on Derek. Number one. Number two, as sad as it is to say, we are not in the second wave. This is literally the middle of the first still, which sucks. Like how we're still in the middle of the first wave sucks. But
one of the experts was saying, "Oh, there's going to be no second wave because it's just going to be one continuous."
Right, exactly. we decided we're gonna ride this out to the vaccine. Like, oh, okay, got it. So
I got something to tell you. I've been feeling weird for 2 days.
No, Mo, don't say that, dude. That's not. Don't joke on that.
I mean, I've. It's a little weird. I have.
Oh, dude.
I don't know if it's allergies or what, but it's a little. I feel like when I got stung by a bee when I was 12.
You are looking a little bit more green lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the commentary on his hair, Lawrence.
No, I understood it. I just found it unfunny.
No,
you're
one of those.
Yeah, laughter's the best medicine. Like I'm the one that's gonna die, not you.
I said you're one of those with taste. No, I'm messing with you, Oz.
He keeps the show classy.
I know.
Yeah, I'm the classy one, right?
No, Larry.
Oh,
barely classy.
Like I started the show trying to put a bucket on my head.
Look, you give him a camera, he starts to perform. All right, let's do some news.
Speaking of classy.
Oh, there you go. Jay's on it.
Charles Bronstein has resigned from the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund after 18 years with the organization.
What happened? Oh, did he get caught up in some sexual misconduct?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
Look, that's the
assault
real
type
plague
shit.
in 2020.
Right.
Well, I feel more like it's been a plague throughout human history, and we're just now coming up with a vaccine.
Well, it's only recognized as a plague like 4 years ago.
Listen, I agree. And it's like, look, I'm not mad at it, mind you. I'm just saying that, listen, these fools are mistreating these women all this time. And now that they have nothing to do but to sit around and think about it, they're like, you know what? Bump this. I'm happy for them. Take all these dudes out. Anyone that has been mistreating women throughout all this time, doing all these crazy things. I didn't even know what grooming was until a week and a half ago.
People.
Well, yeah. I mean, sure. I mean, I know, like,
I'm just trying to be like those all lives matter people.
Well, no, I mean, listen, they're crazy dudes mistreating dudes too. I'm sure.
Oh, well, it's all sexual harassment. It's a power play thing. From my experience in sensitivity training, anything could be sexual harassment.
Yeah, the Kevin Spacey stuff was with dudes. I mean, it doesn't have to be women.
Right. So realistically,
like me, Larry, telling you, hey, Larry, pull your pants down on the show real quick for the likes, and you say stop, and then I don't do it. You could sue me for sexual harassment.
How many likes?
Like, wait, I mean, even though that you're where you are and I'm where I am,
yeah. Like,
but you're not my boss.
Well, that's even worse because I'm not even like in a power position. So I'm creating a hostile work environment towards you just to kind of like put you on the spot. I feel
like if in that particular situation, if I pull my pants down, that's a choice that I made.
No, but if I keep saying it, you told me to stop. I'm not doing it, and then I keep saying it.
I agree. You're right. You are creating a hostile work environment at that point. You should not be doing that, Moses. I agree.
Although according to our NDAs and all that, I can do that, but I choose not to.
Thanks, Mo. You're a gem.
I actually was reading a story not too long ago, and unfortunately I did not save it, so I don't have all the info, but basically there's been some issues with the voice actors because there's basically it's commonplace for voice actors to get blue in character, and some people, I don't think people have a problem with it exactly, but someone else recently was fired over some like shit like that outside of the recording booth, and they're kind of trying to call hypocrisy on it.
You got to give us the specifics, Jay, or research it and tell us next week, because
I can kind of
I will do that.
I can't add to it, but I know I've seen the blooper reel for the voice acting for Berserk,
right?
And I can see that going that way.
I mean, I will say
that was one of the ones they mentioned. They mentioned Berserk and Dragon Ball.
Oh,
see, yeah, because they played that on the DVDs like as a bonus feature, and it was like, Berserk has its certain content that some people might find sensitive. You know what I mean? So it's like you're working in that type of environment and you get carried away, especially, I mean, as a person that works with a microphone and usually isn't videotaped, being me,
So, but I guess I might be.
If I'm doing the voice of Optimus Prime, I might do like, hey, you, Soundwave, let's do a audio porn real quick. No, well, let's do it. Come on. Yeah.
Is that your Optimus Prime voice?
No, that's me telling the guy before we actually do it, but creating a hostile work environment. You know what I mean?
Got it. See, wait, what I'm not understanding, Jay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I have it.
Okay, Jay has it.
So basically, you all remember the Vic Mignola incident that happened not too long ago?
Who, Mignola?
Vic Mignola, the guy that dubbed Broly.
Oh, okay.
I know I mentioned this story.
Yeah, you did mention it. Yeah,
I don't remember
it too far.
Well, let me just read from this real quick. Funimation became a recently trending topic on Twitter after leaked audio of various Dragon Ball voice actors making off-color jokes and statements surfaced on the internet, with many accusing Funimation of hypocrisy due to their cited reasoning for taking action against Dragon Ball Super Broly voice actor Vic Mignola. On August 29th, attorney Nick Rekieta presented several clips during a live stream on his YouTube channel, which featured various Dragon Ball voice actors participating in edgy humor, including the use of an anti-gay slur and multiple instances of sexually charged language as their respective characters from Dragon Ball. The audio recordings feature outtakes by the voice actors, presumably done during recording sessions. These include Sunny Straight as Krillin saying, keep that bitch on the right happy. San Shimmel as Goku asking a group to suck me off until I come all over your faces. And others.
Can we say that on YouTube? Like, even as journalists?
I don't
No.
even know. I'm gonna say no.
We've
We've already been
we
banned.
definitely just got demonetized.
Oh, well, we never got monetized, so I think we're okay.
They asked me for my social, and I'm like, nah, I'm good.
It's like the 15 people listening might be offended, like maybe like half of them, eight.
I mean, but if you want to donate, fantastic on PayPal. If you're not offended, or if you are, but you want to pay us to shut the fuck up, yeah.
So the
format PayPal.
There you go. So the idea is that it's just what they're saying is offensive in general. It's not even about offensive to anyone specifically. It's just the idea that they're just like, hey man, like they should not be saying these things. Like you should not be saying anti-gay stuff. You shouldn't be, basically objectifying women.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I mean, hey, I could see that. Where they're like, hey, if you want to cuss and say something crazy, fine, but don't mess around and marginalize a protected class.
I don't know, like if it's edgy humor, so also you gotta kind of give a little leeway for that.
Well, but it's also, not really,
and especially if they're not directing it at someone like the incident that Funimation most cites about Mignola for his firing was when he ate a jelly bean that he called he named the jelly bean after a person and said that he was eating her, and she found that to be and that's one thing. But just going off script and trying to be funny, like edgy funny, is something kind of different, I think.
Lloyd is highly offended. Exilla said FF ain't big enough to make money, y'all fine.
I like the anonymity that comes with nobody listening. I'm not liking this activity on YouTube.
It's like they can see you, Moses. They go mess around, come to the barbershop and be like, hey, you son of a bitch.
Not a barbershop. I work at an ice cream shop, not a barbershop.
Oh, you're Scott Rubin now. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Nitro Pod, that's me.
But here's the thing though. Me. You all know me. I like to play devil's advocate, and I like to mess around and offer additional perspectives here because I could totally see if you're saying oh well it's just edgy humor, and it's we look at it like that because we know that these characters would never say anything like what these people are saying, and so from an inside perspective we're like, oh man, that's crazy, and it makes us laugh, right? Because that Krillin would never say anything like these things. However, take yourself out of the idea of a fan of these respective properties. All it is a voice actor saying something really lewd, and I'm not saying that to say like, oh, there's no perspective or no like, not to say nuance, but I'm not trying to say that there's not a discussion necessarily to be had, but I think that when you like, it might be more a symptom of what we're used to as a society, and a lot of those groups being marginalized as the default, that makes that acceptable, as opposed to it just being like us looking at it objectively and saying, actually, you know what? No one really needs to say anything like that. Like, you can cuss, like you can say something funny and vulgar that Goku would never say without objectifying women or bashing homosexuals. Like, that can happen.
Yeah, but it's even funnier though.
Well,
when
but
it's
is
Goku
it
doing
though?
it.
It's not really funny though. It's not more funny. It's just that's just society. Like, the society that we're in is like, it's great to to bash women and homosexuals because they're a minority.
I like edgy jokes.
See,
Like,
Lawrence, you're
I
seeing
like
it.
edgy jokes. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Oz.
You're seeing it as what would the audience watching it think of the jokes. But when they were doing this stuff, they were in a room with like-minded people that would have thought that was funny.
Well, but that's an assumption too, though.
Yeah, and if
It's
they
not.
tell you
It's
to stop and you don't, then it's a problem.
right, because and it's not even to say like. Here's the thing: it's not even to say tell them to stop, because think about what it's like. I mean, well, I don't know if you all have ever been in like an engineering booth, but the reality is, if you have the talent in the booth is the king. And in these voiceover, it's like you all know that a lot of these voice actors, they're not like super famous people in the real world.
Yeah.
But in the booth, like when you're like, if you're talking about, okay, it's Nolan North, the sound engineer, and then the other staff that's there at the spot. Nolan North is the king of that castle. You know what I mean? It's like nobody there is more important than him. He's the talent. Everybody else there is there to make him sound good. So there might be like technically like say, and don't get me wrong, it's only like probably like at most it's probably 3 other people there. The engineer, maybe a couple assistants, maybe. It's like if that's all it is, and the engineer's cool with it, but the other 2 people are kind of like, it's a little off color. They're not going to say anything. They're not even the engineer. You know what I mean?
I mean, but isn't it their responsibility? Like,
to what?
If something's making you uncomfortable, like, especially if it's like not directed at the person, like, let's say I'm in a place where, people are like talking hate speech and like white supremacy, this and that or whatever.
Our show.
Like, as long as they're not like doing something directly to me, then, and I don't feel comfortable, like, if they're not speaking directly to me, then that's one thing. But if they're like just talking amongst themselves, like white power bullshit, then it's kind of my responsibility to be like, hey, I'm not really a fan of this. Can we not do that?
I mean,
and then if they persist after that, then that's a hostile work environment.
Well, but here's the thing, though. Like, what you're saying is you're almost putting the onus on a minority class to say that they are uncomfortable. And don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
While I understand what you're saying, and I could maybe agree with it in things that are maybe like newer, it's like if you're talking about homophobia and sexism, like that's well-trod ground. Like, why do I have to tell you don't be sexist or don't be homophobic?
Well, it's like you said, comedy is supposed to like try to find where that edge is.
Yeah, but they're not stand-up
Especially
comedians.
if you're.
They're voice
It doesn't
actors.
matter. They're still.
No, it does matter.
They're not getting.
That's not
paid
their
doesn't.
job.
money.
That's not their job.
Their job isn't to be funny.
No.
So you're saying Goku's not supposed to be funny? We're supposed to take everything Goku says seriously?
I mean,
Well, dude,
well, if we're gonna
Because
do
if you're
that,
saying that, you don't know Dragon Ball.
Oh, you
Like,
crazy.
his job
Maybe
is to
you
read the
just-
fucking script. His job is to read the fucking script.
Exactly. That's his job. Do the lines.
Bullshit. I'm calling
Nah.
bullshit on that one. Improv is
It's not
sometimes
improv.
encouraged, but
It's
it's,
not-
definitely
It's not improv when you're saying something that the
Encouraged.
character would never say. That's not improv. That's not you doing your job. That's you.
it is.
No, it's not, John.
It is
Jay,
improv.
Jay, you're basically saying, like, with that being the case, is like, then if my job is to do taxes and I'm in a room with a bunch of accountants and we're doing taxes, which already sounds like a flawed premise because I don't know how taxes and accountants work.
But
like,
if you want to get racist about it, we could, do a Jewish joke.
no, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
But what I will say
Trying
is
to
that
make you feel comfortable.
what I will say is, if my job is to do accounting, but I decide to tell a racial joke, it's like, oh well, that's
well,
okay.
no, that's not comparative.
It is comparative. It's
It
absolutely
isn't. Like,
comparative
A
because
more comparative thing would be if you're an accountant in a room full of accountants, and you're like, well, I want to do some math equations, then that's like more comparable to what we're talking about.
But Jay,
because
see,
it's tangential to what they
but Jay,
already do.
the
Comedy is
no, but-
tangential to acting,
no, it's not. Jay.
especially if you're a comedian actor.
But you're not. They're not. Like the guy
They
that
are.
voice
They-
the voice
They are
actor.
comedians.
Jay,
They are comedians.
Jay, come listen. First of all, like I mean,
Okay.
the comparison you're drawing. Here's how I know that what you're saying doesn't even track, because it's not even like you're in a situation where you're trying to find the character. You know what I mean? It's like especially when you talk about anime and such, it's like the narrative for the most part is already there. There's not a lot of new stuff you're finding because the animation's already done when you're talking about American dubs. It's like you have to follow a story. And it's like there's no potential for somebody to be like, oh man, what if Krillin said I should just come all over these chicks' faces? Like that's all you. That's not
Hold on.
me trying to find a
Hold
character. That's you inserting your own stuff into it.
Listen. I can prove that that's not the case.
I will listen.
And it's kind of like I don't have the proof on me, but I could definitely point you at the proof.
Point me to the proof.
The anime Ghost Stories has two different English dubs. One dub where they're like following like a script, and another dub where it's wait, is that right? You know what? No, it's the first dub is mostly improv, and it's mostly raunchy improv, and they improv pretty much the entire script. Like they have some beats that they follow with the ghost, but it's a lot of improv, a lot of sex jokes, a lot of blue comedy, edgy comedy. I mean, no, they're not saying faggot or shit like that, but it's still pretty edgy, and it's still improv. I also want to bring up Super Milk Chan. The Super Milk Chan anime is also mostly improv. So it's like, if you watch those, you can see how an improv anime works or can work. So it's like, these people, they're just doing their best. They try to be dramatic when they want to be dramatic. They try to be comedic when they try to be comedic. They try to be stoic when they're trying to be stoic. Which, speaking of stoic, we are getting a Goblin Slayer season 2. But they are They're just trying to do them. And
Now-
sometimes doing them is doing blue comedy, edgy comedy. And if people in the booth, the assistants, are not cool with that, they should be like, hey, I'm not cool with that. Either can you stop or can I leave and come back? Or, you know.
Well, how did Vic Mignola get in trouble?
No, because he was basically talking about a person directly. So
Okay. So none of
there
what
was
you
like
said
Monica.
applies to him at all.
There was a woman named Monica Rial, and he named this jelly bean Rial and said he was eating her,
Ah,
and that
that's
made
not
her
right.
uncomfortable.
So in
And
every
that's what I'm saying. If you're like making a direct statement at someone, then yeah, you should kind of know. But if you're all just fucking around in the booth, then I would put it on the person that's uncomfortable to be like, hey, to speak up.
But I guess my thought is, if the person in the booth speaks up and that basically makes the talent feel weird, that's not gonna be a great career move for the person. And everybody in the booth knows
Well,
that.
that's what the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund is for.
For voiceover?
well,
They
it
do
started
like
with
all types of shit.
yeah.
Okay. Look,
Which
Derek H. is-
I said that as a joke. People are actually boycotting the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund, and they're using that other service. I forgot the name of.
No, I don't even know what the other service is.
Hero Initiative.
Derek in chat says, so Joe is saying the victim is responsible for stopping the abuser? I don't think that's what I said. I said
That's
it's
what it
up to
sounds
the
like.
victim.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's up to the victim to say they're uncomfortable. Like, if I'm like talking, if I'm being edgy, if I'm saying all kinds of shit, like all types of crazy shit, and I don't know that you guys are uncomfortable, I'm not gonna stop.
But you could.
I need one of
say-
you.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I say you could say that anything sexist is going to make any woman in the room potentially feel uncomfortable. But you could just go with that, right?
Now, I know women that make sexist jokes. Like, I know women that.
But you understand a woman
are fine
making a
with it.
sexist joke is a different thing than a man making a sexist joke.
Yeah, I know women that are fine with sexist jokes as long as they're jokes. Like, not every woman is some carbon copy of the same. Like, women are different, Lawrence. I thought you would know this by now. Like, not every woman is offended by the same thing. Like,
I'm not
they
saying
all
that.
have different likes, different dislikes.
But what I'm saying is, if you don't,
Not all women need your protection, Lawrence.
If you don't know, why not err on the side of caution?
Because
The
we're all
same way
fucking
how it's
around
like,
in the booth.
Hey, maybe
We're all fucking around in the booth.
Right. But here's the thing: is that important? I would say no. It's like
I would say,
it doesn't.
fuck yeah.
No, it's like I get it. You had a something that some people might laugh at, but here's the thing. It's like we get laughs already. Like there's people, a profession whose job it is to make us laugh. We don't need you. Like not only do we not need you to make us laugh, but you're probably not as funny as the people that are trying to make us laugh. So why don't you?
First off, I've said this before, and it's something I stand by. Just because you're a comedian, or comedians aren't the only ones that are allowed to make jokes. Like, I've said that before. It's something I still stand by.
Nobody is, see, but that's the mad extreme. Nobody's saying comedians are the only ones that are allowed to make jokes. What we're saying is,
well, you just said voice actors can't.
No, I didn't say that. They can make whatever jokes they want to make, but there are consequences for the sexist jokes you make, or the racial jokes you make, or the homophobic jokes you make.
But I don't see Tosh getting any consequences for all the racial jokes he makes.
Whoa, but see, Tosh his job is actually to be a comedian.
And he probably doesn't do it.
I'm saying that's not an excuse. Like, I'm saying just because you're not a comedian,
it's his job.
Doesn't mean
it's like in the same way a doctor doesn't get like arrested for cutting you because that's his job is the same way a comedian shouldn't be accosted for saying something like homophobic, racist, sexist if they're trying to be funny, because that's their job.
Look,
Not only that,
here's the thing.
That's their job. Now, if you're the actor for the voice actor for Goku in English, it's not your job to mess around and try to find the edge of comedy. Your job
here's the thing,
is
though.
to
I
be
want to take
Goku
you back to your
in English.
I want to take you back to your dope.
You know what Goku in English is?
Doctor.
You know what Goku in English isn't? A sexist or a racist or a homophobe, right? Or no? Am I wrong?
You're a little wrong.
No, you're not wrong. But what I would say is,
Wait, doesn't he pick up
Let's
and
go back
throw
to
his
your
girlfriend
doctor.
at one point? Like
Yeah.
I feel like I saw that. Like he throws her across the valley or something.
That's not sexy. And she
That's
can
a-
take it because she's 1/8 Saiyan.
She's only 1/8.
but
I think so.
Hmm.
Like I think oh no, half maybe.
Half
no.
sounds a little bit more.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
what I'm trying to
One
say,
thing I
the
can't-
same way you say it's not a, like going back to your doctor thing, if someone's bleeding and I try to do first aid, like, no, I'm not a doctor, but I can still try and save that man's life.
Yeah, but you can't cut
And
him.
if he dies,
And you
and
can't
if
call
he
him
dies, I'm even protected.
He-
If under the
No.
good Samaritan laws, like if I
That's true.
try to
Yeah.
help save someone and
That's
I
not
fail, yeah, it is.
Nah,
Joe can
nah.
cut him. He just can't bill him later.
No. The thing about that, like even when you give somebody CPR, like if you do CPR properly, you kind of fracture a rib, and they can sue you for a broken rib.
And
Yeah, that
and-
used to be the case.
No, that's the case now.
That's why I don't give CPR or anything to women because I might get accused of sexual harassment.
Like I know an EMT that won't do anything off the clock for that reason.
I'll have to double check. Like to my knowledge, yeah, you'll be fine, but maybe the laws changed, maybe it stayed the same, maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But
Like, so-
yeah, I
I'm
don't know.
sure-
Like
I
feel I guess
think it-
my
I think
main point is that I'm gonna say what I want when I'm trying to be funny. And maybe you won't think it's funny, and maybe you'll be offended by it. But if you are offended by it, just let me know and I'll stop. Like, yeah, just let me know. And I'll stop. I'll even apologize. Like, I'm sorry. I use the word faggot so freely. Like, it's just what I do, but I don't have to. Like, if you're offended by faggot, I can stop.
But
I'm
if you already know that people could be offended by that, why not just stop in the beginning?
Well, other people's feelings aren't his
Because I don't know for sure. It's
Yeah.
like,
But
if
why
I'm
not
talking
err
to
on the
you
side of
guys,
caution?
and
like somebody
why
says they're
should I?
offended
Why
and-
shouldn't I just be funny?
Well,
Why
but
shouldn't I just be me or
it's like-
funny?
listen, that's like the people
Or
that are like,
edgy.
well, that's like the people that are like, well, why should I wear a
It's like,
mask?
Lawrence, because you're worried about making someone sick.
It's
Nobody-
the same thing.
You're worried about
Nobody's gonna die
actually
from
killing
words.
someone.
Yeah, nobody's
No
gonna
one's
die
gonna
from
die
language.
from me calling. No one's gonna die from me saying faggot.
Oh,
It-
look,
Like you have to
it's not
say a
words.
lot
You-
more
you say that until
in
they
order
kill
for people to
themselves.
die.
You say
Words
that until they
only
kill
hurt.
themselves.
Well, look, that's a whole other issue.
Again, that's why they gotta tell me to stop.
No, but really?
And then I'll be
dude?
like, hey, I'm
that's
sorry.
how you feel?
Like,
You gonna say they're
That I would
sorry?
stop?
You gonna say you're sorry at their funeral?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
no,
you're
they
such
gotta
a
tell me
punk bitch.
before they kill themselves.
Well, but here's
Like,
the thing. It's like
I'll be honest. If me saying faggot once to someone sends them over the edge, then they were too far gone.
oh, dude,
like-
it's not you saying it
Then
once.
you need a sign.
It's the culmination of all the people that feel the way you feel.
Yeah, that's why I said putting them. That's why I said putting them over the edge. If my one faggot puts them over the edge from everyone else
But
saying
I guess
faggot,
what
or
I'm saying to
saying
you,
cunt, or
What I'm
saying
saying to
kike,
you
or saying nigger, or saying
like-
whatever it is that
What?
they're offended by, then
we're demonetized already. They're
Oh
like, you know
yeah,
what?
yeah.
We ended your channel. We ended your
Joe
channel.
Joe was waiting for us to not be on the all games.
I know.
Like, God damn! Like at
What?
least the first week, yeah, like
Right.
you
He
know,
didn't even look over his shoulder. He didn't even look over his shoulder. He's like, are there any white people here?
you won a week. God damn.
Jeez. But what I'm saying is, if your potential
Hegzilla, remember Super Milk Chan? Hegzilla, I brought up Super Milk Chan. Hegzilla said Super Milk Chan had 2 English dubs. One was a direct translation, the other one was raunchy as fuck. And it was mostly improv. Like, it happens. And they try to be funny.
Yeah.
And sometimes it works. Honestly, I really enjoyed Super Milk Chan. Like, I thought it was funny. And even though, like, I wasn't into the animation style, it had, like, a low-key, kind of, like, cheaper style, like, more simplified looks. But the comedy got me through the show. Like, I thought it was great.
New Throwback says, and that's a wrap. LOL. Hexo said, YouTube is racing to shut this shit down. Oh, jeez.
Okay,
Look,
we're gonna
listen.
have to go to Alex Jones's streaming.
Actually, if they shut us down for something that Joe says, we can accuse them of racism.
And I love how we're the ones that hate racism and shit, you know, like, and bigotry. Like, if you actually subscribe to our podcast, you can hear us, you know, talking against these things.
I mean, I'm talking against it right now.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
collectively, Joe,
I'm just saying, if I make you uncomfortable, then let me know,
I've been uncomfortable
and I will
for
stop.
20 minutes.
What I'll say to you, Jay, is
You didn't say anything.
I did.
Why didn't you say anything, Mo?
I did.
Wearing pants makes me uncomfortable.
What did you say?
I said something about moving on to another story because there's no real conclusion to this one, like the opinion part, you know.
Oh, I
But-
think Lawrence talked over you, so I didn't hear you.
I'm on a delay too, a little bit. You know, I'm having a little bit of issue.
Hexzilla says we're turning the frogs gay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
let's move
now-
on to some better news.
well, here's
I am
another.
happy
Go ahead.
I'm happy to announce that Disney announced new episodes of Amphibia, Amphibia, Owl House, and Big City Greens are starting July 11th. So, yeah, I've talked about at least 2 of those shows before. They're amazing. They're great for diversity. One starring a Thai American girl, the other features a Hispanic girl as the lead. These are great shows. And Amphibia actually, season 2 is starting, but it's already been picked up for a season 3. So, you know, good things are happening.
Sounds
Word.
So happy for diversity.
yeah. It didn't sound like it's 5 minutes.
I've been waiting a long time for it. No, look, I got the edgy humor, but I love diversity. Like,
Well, yeah,
and
it
I
gives
love
you
how it's becoming so
material.
normalized with me. It's like, I was actually, like, I talked about glitch text before. The 2 kids that like fight video games.
Yeah.
It's the Nickelodeon Netflix show. And,
Oh,
you know, I
okay.
was just thinking about it the other day, and it's like, wow, like, that show has 2 non-white leads. And it's, like, perfectly normal, like, to me. Also, you should watch Kipo, in the Age of the Wonder Beast.
Keep up.
Another female-led, black female lead.
Lawrence is out.
Like, animation is just so great for diversity right now. Like, it's amazing, especially like the LGBTQ plus. I think that's the acronym now. Especially the normalization of that group is amazing to me. Like, we're getting there. We're not there yet, no, but we are moving in the right direction.
I thought he was gonna do the apology next episode.
No, like I said, I was just making a point. I actually am like one of the biggest fans of diversity. Like, I even tried to get Lawrence to watch Amphibia by telling him like how it's a Thai American girl played by a Thai American actress, which is almost unheard of in animation because it's so hard, it's so easy to get away with, casting like white for black or black for white. Like, it's so easy to cast the person that's not the race of the character because it's just a voice. So when they actually go out of their way to cast like a girl that's the same ethnicity as the character or the same gender identity as the character, Noelle Stevenson did that. Like, one of the characters in She-Ra was non-binary, and so she got a non-binary actor to, is that right? Actor, yeah, non-binary actor to play the person. And like, that is great. Like, that is the kind of thing I like.
All you listeners and viewers, tune in next week when he laughs at somebody calling her pad thai.
Oh my god,
that's not funny. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think they would mind, but I'm not sure. I don't really know. Like, I know one of the episodes is called Lily Pad Thai.
Oh my god.
Where the girl opens up a Thai restaurant.
Is her name
or she
Lily?
turns a current restaurant. No, her name is Ann Boon Choi. But Lily Pad because they're frogs.
Oh, gotcha.
Hence the name Amphibia.
Got it.
Right.
Wait, so is the all the characters are frogs?
Look, you got to listen to the
No,
review.
there are frogs, newts, and toads.
Are the frogs gay though?
Are they what?
Are the frogs gay?
No, Sprig is actually dating a girl toad.
Can we
So
turn the
he's
frogs
not
gay?
gay. I'm not sure.
I feel like aren't a
That
lot
is
of
a question
tadpoles?
for Matt, or I forgot who's setting up that show. I think it's Matt Braley, but don't quote me on that.
Aren't a lot of tadpoles androgynous?
Yeah, even human tadpoles.
I don't know what that means.
Well, spermatozoids. They're just
We call them zygotes.
Yeah.
Mo, you got a story?
I've been trying to get it for like 30 minutes here.
We got you, buddy. Go.
Michael, zygote is where you decide to move on.
Hey.
All right, you guys do.
Can Mo do the story, please?
Go ahead. You guys.
No,
the
camera's on you, Mo. Go.
I'm gonna get another drink. Fuck you.
Oh, see what you did, Oz? You ruined everything.
I don't know. I got him to leave.
Yeah, that's ruining.
Some would say that's an improvement. Not me, mind you, of course. But, some out there, although, to be honest, I didn't expect Joe to be the one to let it fly like he did earlier. I thought that would be Mo.
Heckzilla in chat says, but has Disney Plus put Weekenders on Plus yet? Fucking mouse. And no, they I don't believe they have. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't been there in a while. They still don't have fucking Fillmore, so
read that one.
Disney's the real anti-diversity company.
Is that you highlighting the chat?
Yeah,
it's me.
The only one that can do it.
Oh, I thought okay.
That's why there's a delay.
A delay for what?
Like when they post it, it doesn't come up like right when they post it.
Oh no, I mean yeah, you're right. Yeah, I do it when it's relevant.
By the way, that was a joke. That was a joke saying Disney's anti-diversity.
Yeah,
because they did the 3 shows I just talked about.
Read that one, Jay.
Hexilla says they're turning the goddamn frogs gay with their liberal agenda.
That sounds
right. They might be. I don't think so though. Like, I think Sprig is straight for the win. Real cis male frog.
Heck says, "Damn you, Hillary! Damn you!" All right, Mo, please give us your story,
go
man.
Yeah, you guys have the news stories. Go ahead.
Mo, listen, don't be like this. We're on video.
Yeah,
People can-
exactly. They can see my disdain.
Right, but they also watch you being petty. Don't be petty. You're
Fuck
not this
that.
person.
If anything, that's gonna get more ratings. Come on, I do petty good. All right, I do petty
Listen,
good.
you do petty to perfection. I'm not talking about your talent here. I'm saying I want you to contribute. That's all I'm saying, friend. All right, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you.
Michael Keaton was in talks to play Batman in Ezra Miller's Flashpoint, and there was a whole talk about it because they're like, well, what does this mean? And well, you know, if you watch Batfleck's movies, they played the theme for Batman Returns when they talked about the exploding penguins, so technically it doesn't mean anything. And if it does, then they're doing it wrong. You know what I mean? So
the thing about the stories that I read is they always said they kept saying he was in talks to play Batman, and they would say Bruce Wayne. But if it's a Flashpoint movie, it's Thomas Wayne, right?
I see.
Not
that's
necessarily.
the problem. Yeah, if here's the thing, if you're gonna bring an older Batman, then yeah, like in fact, somebody on Twitter actually mentioned us in a reply to a comment. Like, well, I heard on Fantastic Forum that it should be like this, you know, something we said years ago that I don't even remember. But I remembered when I read it. Right now, I don't remember what he said. But yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, technically, by the way everything went down, Warner Brothers owes it. Like Val Kilmer, George Clooney, they're all the Tim Burton Batman. They're just not Tim Burton movies. You know what I mean? It's a shared universe across those 4 movies. And with Batfleck, that they alluded to bringing that in. So yeah, that nothing should change. Like, I don't see what the fuck it has to do with Ezra Miller's Flashpoint. Now, my thing was the fact that Ezra Miller still has a Flashpoint movie. Like, that's my biggest thing. Like, oh, they really just, they're okay with that. And, you know, in hindsight, he's now no Vic Mignola, no Harvey Weinstein. Like, in the grand scheme of things, he's not as bad as any of those people. So, yeah, he's in 2020, he's probably not that bad. In the eyes of Warner Brothers, that is, not me.
I think the Snyder Cut coming out is probably what helped him out the most, because now they want to use the Flashpoint movie to kind of bring up the multiverse in the DCU. Is it U or EU?
DCU still, I think.
It doesn't matter. But
if
right. Keaton's going to be in this movie, he should be a Thomas Wayne. I know everybody associates him with being Bruce Wayne, but he should be
why should he be Thomas Wayne?
Yeah,
because that's the Flashpoint storyline. I'm saying what he should be. I'm not saying what he's going to be.
But do you have any faith that they're going to do following the comics?
No.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, these movies don't follow the fucking comics.
But here's the thing, though.
Why would you have any expectations based on the comics?
Well, because if they at least make him a Thomas Wayne, it gives a great excuse to make Pattinson the new Bruce Wayne. Because then at the end of Flashpoint, when Flash comes back to the Batcave to deliver the letter, he could come back to a Pattinson.
There's not going to be a letter.
If anybody should be Thomas Wayne, it should be, oh boy, that was the comedian.
Yeah, Negan. Yeah. I mean,
that would be an amazing Thomas Wayne Flashpoint Batman.
That Martha Wayne was Lauren Cohen too.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what?
Maggie from from Walking Dead.
She was Martha Wayne in what?
In that scene.
In which scene?
There was the one with the comedian.
Right. Where comedian was Thomas Wayne and Maggie was Martha Wayne.
Oh, in the whatchamacallit movie?
Yes.
BVS.
Oh, wow. I didn't even realize that.
Like,
Because
how could you not like the movie without watching it?
right after that movie came out,
I watched it, but listen, that first of all, the fact that they even in a Batman versus Superman movie retread Batman's origin again is like, come on, like you don't need you don't need that.
This is how I know you don't even listen to our show.
Yeah,
because
I listen to our show. I just don't listen to you.
That was the whole thing when that movie came out. Flashpoint was still out there in the ether, and that was the talk. Is you have these two known actors names playing Thomas and Martha. If you do a Flashpoint movie, that's your Batman, that's your Joker, and both of them could pull it off. Both of them would be great in it.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying there. And yeah, you're right. Like Maggie could totally pull off a Martha Wayne Joker. And yeah, oh boy could definitely be Negan could definitely be Flashpoint Batman.
But see, you don't even have to see the Martha Wayne Joker at all.
I agree.
Like,
it's not necessary.
The animated thing didn't do it right. Like they just alluded to it. They just showed a little bit of it. They didn't give you that full story.
No, they showed her.
Yeah,
but they didn't get that full story of the comics, right? Like they just
the comic.
Yeah, they didn't do the full story, but
Yeah.
they do show her.
Yeah. And if they didn't show her, it wouldn't have changed anything, I don't think.
Hexzilla says he was already Thomas Wayne. He said Negan was Thomas Wayne in Justice League.
The only other acceptable thing Keaton could do if he's going to reprise his role is to be in Batman Beyond times.
What? So you're saying like
Flash
Michael
to the
Keaton plays
future,
the older Batman, but not in Batman as Batman Beyond, then that would be a waste.
not a waste because he is a talent. That's not to say DC hasn't wasted talent before, but like that's what I as a fan would want to see. If they're gonna do a Flashpoint, I want to see him be Thomas Wayne. You're right though. I would rather see Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Lauren Cohen play those roles. But if you're gonna get a Michael Keaton be Thomas Wayne, if he's not gonna be Thomas Wayne, I want him to be Batman Beyond Bruce Wayne.
And see, here's the thing: that he's basically the Affleck Wayne, the older Wayne, but in the Zack Snyderverse. That's all he's really gonna be.
As long as he's not the Kevin Conroy Wayne.
Well, he might be that.
Kevin Conroy Wayne is the worst Wayne.
Dude, if he's got that outfit, that robotic suit or whatever, I'm gonna be so pissed off.
No, but see, the robotic suit's not the problem. Kevin Conroy is the problem.
Yeah.
Because robotic suit is fine. Like the robotic suit was in friggin' Kingdom Come.
Yeah, that was fine.
80% convinced that the robotic suit was because he's so stiff as an actor. Dude can do a voice, but he can't be on camera. And they just said, you know what? Give him the suit.
It's two different skill sets, and that's okay. Like I'm not saying Kevin Conroy isn't Batman because I believe Kevin Conroy is Batman. I'm saying Kevin Conroy doesn't look like Batman, and we all know he doesn't look like Batman, and somebody decided to give him a shot to play live action Batman, and that was a bad decision. That's what I'm saying.
Didn't we say you would have been happy if cartoon Batman came down those stairs?
Yeah.
I mean, look, I have no problem with cartoon Batman.
Like it's all live action except for Batman is a cartoon.
Yeah,
like Roger Rabbit. I'm totally with it.
I would have rather had that than what we got.
DC, get on it. Where's my camera? That's my camera. DC.
Do it again, Oz.
No. Wait, did I just demonetize this? Okay.
Listen, we were never monetized.
I also realized I gotta trim my nails. I hate having a camera. This is. I gotta get like Deadpool had that Hugh Jackman mask.
Now, speaking of which, did you all see that friggin' Hasbro and Marvel released a Deadpool head? Did you all see this?
Just the
Deadpool head?
Oh, you damn it! I wish I should have said this to you. I'm sorry. Yes,
Yeah.
literally just a head that talks, and
But
will
how big is it? Is it like an actual head or like
it's basically like a life size Deadpool head, as if Deadpool had got decapitated and talks.
It's a little dark for Hasbro, isn't it?
No,
I mean, it's a HasLab thing.
like
I don't know what that means.
HasLab is like their crowdfunding thing, but you know what? Actually, I'm wrong because I don't think it is a HasLab thing. Like I don't think they're like, oh, if you fund it, you'll get it. But it is definitely a thing they announced that it's like, hey, if you want a live action Deadpool head that will talk to you, like it's a thing.
It does look like it's life size too.
I'm telling you, it's life size. Like,
But it also looks like a cloth mask. It doesn't look like the movie mask.
well, okay, but Deadpool in real life is, or not in real life. I'm sorry, Deadpool in the comics is a cloth mask.
Deadpool in real life.
I'm sorry, Deadpool. Look, the comics is what matters, and in the comics, his mask is cloth. It's not whatever magic material it is in the movie.
fondant.
Right, friggin' steel mesh, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like don't get me wrong. I'm not
Like-
knocking the movie because
I'm knocking it because he shouldn't have had that little flap in the back if it wasn't cloth.
I mean, right, but you got to give him props for having the flap in the back.
Yeah,
No.
you also would have been mad if he didn't have the flap.
Nah,
You would have.
I mean, I would have, but still, like,
Yeah.
I'm mad that it's not cloth. Like,
You can't have it both ways, Mo. You can't be mad that it's there and mad that it's not there.
oh, watch me.
Oh, he's like, you obviously don't understand the levels of my comic fandom.
I've been doing this show for 15 years. I built this career on that.
I love you, Bo. Hex in chat, he says head sized. Talk about the Deadpool head. Yeah, so it talks. It sounds good. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not for me. Like, I don't need it. But if you're a big Deadpool fan, it's a must-have thing.
Is it Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, like, I know that they had to have sent one to Rob Liefeld. Like, if they didn't, then that's criminal.
They set Rob Liefeld the feet.
See, that's a friggin' low-hanging fruit joke. You're better than that, Oz.
Yeah.
You're better than that.
Low hanging fruit is his nutsack.
What?
Isn't that what you call your nutsack?
Absolutely.
HBO Max wants a Batfleck movie with Jared Leto's Joker in it. No.
I doubt that.
According to Tiger Claw, you can't believe anything posted by We've Got This Covered. But they posted shit about Infinity War and Endgame that came out to be. So they you know, they're hit or miss. And they cite another source, like Cultured Nerd or some shit. So it's not like they're just putting it out there. There's somebody else is saying it and they picked it up.
See, this is what they do though. A story like this, where they say that they want to do this, they're not saying that it's gonna happen, so they can get away with it. Because now if it doesn't happen, well, they wanted to, somebody said no.
Yeah.
And that's how they do. Like,
Well, I mean, but that's how we got the Snyder cut too. Everybody was
That's
saying
true.
they want to do it. Like, if we got this
True.
cover said they want to do it. You know,
It's true.
like Joe reported on it, like if it was a thing when it wasn't yet.
but the Snyder cut, like Zack Snyder himself was putting it out there. And again,
That doesn't
I
make it legitimate. That just makes it Zack
Yeah.
Snyder thing.
it
Like,
kind of does. If
Here's the
people are
thing, no,
saying,
it doesn't, because he says like, "Oh, we have the footage, we have this," and then they don't have it because that's why they're still spending another $30 million on it.
Like
Right, but
Zack
the
Snyder saying that
creator-
they want the Snyder cut is the same as like Jennifer Garner saying, "Oh, I would love to do an Electro Movie trilogy," right? Like it's like there's no difference.
Here's my thing. This whole we got it covered. The question is, who said that that's what HBO Max wants? Because with the Snyder cut, Snyder was confirming that it exists. The actors in it were saying that it exists. Now, if they say Affleck says that he's heard that they want this movie, or Leto or Snyder or whoever, somebody who has any pull who can make this happen says it, then it's a story. But if they're just saying we've heard from HBO Max, no names. We've heard that they want it done. It's different than when somebody who actually had a hand in making it says it. That's my problem. Is that they're just saying, well, we've heard. It's like the rumor we heard that Joe was going to be Jon Stewart in the Green Lantern TV show.
That's still corroborated.
Jay, can you confirm or deny that you'll be Jon Stewart in the Green Lantern TV show?
No, I can't speak on it yet.
Not after what he said a little while ago.
Jay's canceled for 2020.
Look, he's not famous yet, so they can get away with it.
They
They'll
cancel
do it after.
unfamous people all the time.
Oh, this will come out 10 years from now. Like season 6, he was just being erased.
It happened to the dude on Saturday Night Live.
Which dude?
He was supposed to be the Asian hire. Not that that's their policy, but he said a joke about Chinatown and they canceled him.
Wait,
and then
the Asian that was the Chinatown joke?
No, it was the white guy.
It was a white guy, but then they hired an Asian guy
at the same time.
And the Asian guy didn't have a sense of humor. I got you.
At the same time, like when they got rid of him, they got an Asian guy to fill that spot. And I mean, he's good. He's okay. I'm not, as a Saturday Night Live fan, like I can see what he adds to it, but that guy was actually pretty funny, the white guy, until people didn't like him anymore. But yeah, that's what happened.
Hey, listen,
what's gonna happen to Joe? We're gonna have a Asian Jon Stewart.
That would be awesome.
Would it?
He's gonna be half Thai.
Does that count as blackface?
No.
I guess if they get an Indian guy,
don't
could be
think
dark
so.
enough, right?
Oh, jeez.
There's some really dark Indian dudes. Like I've seen some dudes that,
Listen,
if not for their hair,
Oz, you don't have to tell us how dark Indian people can be. We're good.
Well, if you get an Ethiopian guy, he could play the Indian guy and the black guy.
We're good. We should move to the next story. We really should.
Dungeons and Dragons, the team announces new plans to address race and inclusivity in the game.
like, it's a game where you can be whatever the fuck you want. I don't.
Well, no, you can't be whatever you want. You could be whatever race they put into the game.
Into whatever game you're playing.
But the race isn't like black, white, Asian. It's elf, dwarf. Like you can be whatever race you want.
You could choose a black elf. I know a guy that's like a furry wizard ninja guy.
I can't be a dark elf because that's blackface.
Hey, you're dark enough.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
you can see that now.
You could be a dark elf.
It's like you only think you're white, but you're not.
It's like you can't mess around and like be a dark elf and say like YOLO, like not you.
I'm transracial.
No, you're not.
I hate it. I remember I kept identifying as black, and then Sholazal did it and ruined it.
Sholazal,
whatever.
Mo might be able to say YOLO.
I identify as black, and then when people question it, I pull down my pants. But then that's also sexual harassment, so that's a different problem.
Yeah, so then you're white.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad. Jay can't say YOLO either.
Why can't Jay say YOLO?
Because look at Jay.
Because he's immortal, so he doesn't only live once.
Yes, that's why. That's it. Hit the nail on the head, Oz. Thanks.
So what are they changing that's going to make it more diverse?
That's a really good question, Oz. Thank you for asking that.
Yeah.
Do you know the answer to that, Moses?
I don't. I didn't.
Do they say it in the story?
Do they know the answer to that?
I don't think
I didn't bother reading it because the headline was the punchline to me. There's no reason to read it, you know?
So
Go ahead.
I think I saw this story. Please don't quote me on this.
Oh, we're gonna quote you,
But
Jay.
I believe
It'll be the title.
what they're doing is they're changing, like they're gonna be no more evil races. So you know how like orcs are typically evil or whatever, or like shit like that. They're gonna stop doing that.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've played Dungeons and Dragons a few times. I'm not an aficionado by any means, and I do understand that there are kind of like particular races that maybe lean towards a particular like alignment or not, which I know somebody's listening right now that's like, are you sure you don't play Dungeons and Dragons? It's like, I don't play a lot, but I read. So I'm like, your alignment might be, there might be a particular alignment that is like normally associated with that race, but as far as I knew, it's not like ironclad. So I mean, you could be like a lawful good like orc if you want to. You just have to maybe work a little harder. Is that right?
Yeah, just like
What-
But I
What's
think
gonna
they're
Just like in real life, Mo.
Yeah.
It's like you could be a lawful
I
good
think
black
they're
person. You just gotta
not-
work harder.
That's really it.
like they're not changing player characters. They're changing like the world. So it's like, yes, you could be a good, lawful good orc if you want, but what they're doing is they're taking the stigma away from the entire race. So it's like, if you go into an orc village, they're not automatically evil or something. I think.
You know what we need to do?
Like-
we need to have
I would be really embarrassed if I was
I think I think
thinking
I
of
know.
something
I think I know
completely
what they're.
different.
I think I know what they're doing. So if I decide to be like a dark elf, you know, my skin is of a darker hue, then I can't be a thief. Like the dungeon master is automatically gonna smack me in the face and be like, "No, that's racist." Right? Is that what?
so
that
we have like woke DMs now. Woke.
I don't
DMs?
think it'll be that in depth either. Like I think you can still choose. You're just not tied in.
There's some lore with orcs that I remember. Fuck, when I was in high school, so this isn't even new. This is old. Where the orcs were essentially like elves almost. They were beautiful, like the most beautiful race, and some of them did something that angered the gods.
They got
And
corrupted.
and so they were cursed to be what we now consider orcs. But I wouldn't mind a D&D, game that included the original, whatever the original race I forget their name, whatever they were, as kind of like a good orc, essentially.
I mean, hey, what I think we should do is maybe we should see if we can
Play
get
D&D.
April and or Norm on the line one of these weeks and let them talk to us about it, because I'm sure they know. Because Norm,
Stephen
what Jay?
Stephen Gibson in chat says, I watched the D&D cartoon. Does that count?
Yes.
And yes, it does. It was a pretty good cartoon.
Yeah.
The writers have a great sarcastic sense of humor. Yeah, it was good.
They're supposed to be working on another movie,
I did hear that.
which
But not an animated one.
the movie
No,
with
Jay.
Marlon Wayans I kind of enjoyed.
Yeah.
It's not as
Well,
bad.
yeah,
as
we
people make
enjoyed
out to
it,
be.
but it was really bad.
It's not that bad, but it's not good. You're right.
It is.
It's not as bad as like In the Name of the King or whatever.
Yeah, we would like to say cult hit, cult classic.
I don't even know if I don't think the Marlon Wayans D&D rises to cult classic level, but
I saw it in the theater.
that doesn't make it a cult classic either. That just
I
means
came
you
out
make
of
bad
it like,
you make bad life decisions.
I mean, we know that. I'm here tied into this show.
I realized the last movie I saw in the theaters was the Sonic movie.
Look,
I don't
That's
even
prob-
remember.
Sonic movie's probably a cult classic.
Nah, that's a runaway hit.
No, Sonic movie is successful. They're already working on 2.
Are
it
they?
successful?
Wait, are they working
Uh-huh.
on the sequel? That's news to me.
No, we talked about it.
No, yeah, it was so big that they immediately started
Oh.
working on the sequel.
It did hit the record for the biggest video game movie, right?
I
And the
believe
quality,
so.
I mean, the quality was almost as good as Detective Pikachu.
When you think about it, if it was the biggest video game movie, that means it made more money than Resident Evils, and they made like 8 of those, right?
Yeah.
That means we might be.
6.
Oh,
There's
okay.
3 with the old continuity and 3 with the new,
Look,
and
I
they're
don't
all
even,
out of continuity with each other.
listen. I don't even. What is Jay talking about right now? Continuity. Resident Evil doesn't
So-
have continuity.
The movie they tried.
No,
but
trying
I'm basically
and succeeding
talking
isn't
about-
the same thing.
Well, yeah,
Right.
But there are two
tried to
different-
throw
there
a
are two
baseball.
different states. Like there are 2 different states. There's the first 3, and then there's 4 through 6 was like a soft reboot.
Okay.
I watched all those movies and I have no idea what's going on in those. Other than zombies are bad. And even I think towards the last one, when Homegirl has superpowers at that point, like I think the zombies aren't even the bad guys. I think like humans are bad guys at that point. I'm not 100%
No, the
sure.
zombies are bad.
It's like
Well,
2020.
it's clones.
Yeah, but the zombies
Basically,
are like
Evil.
the zombies are more like wild animals. You know, they're not. It's not that they're evil. They're just doing what zombies do, essentially. But there's people that are evil at that point, right? Like, it's been a
Yes,
while.
the doctor that created it has a bunch of clones, and he's basically the main bad guy before you get to Wesker.
I do remember a giant warehouse full of Mila Jovovich clones, which also is a slight peek into fantasies of mine.
Yeah, they killed them off in the 3rd movie, so
Yeah.
because it was ridiculous.
Killing them off is not part of my fantasy. Just thought I'd mention that.
Hecht in chat said, "Did you guys get the free Injustice game?
I
Did
have.
you guys?
Yes,
What?
I did. Thank you, Tiger Claw, for that heads up.
Where do you get Injustice for free?
On Xbox, right?
Xbox or
Yeah.
PlayStation.
When did that happen? Is it still available?
Or yesterday.
But
It was
it's
done-
just this one.
But that's okay. I don't
It's
look.
free. Yeah.
Yeah, like when is it still? Can I still get it?
It's only one way to find out, Lawrence.
Well,
So should I just end the show? Should
Yeah,
I go on Xbox right now? Like, what are you telling me to do, Oz? Help me.
Since when do you care what I tell you to do?
Derek Hopkins in chat says, I believe Rampage is the most successful video game movie.
No.
I don't
Am
think
I-
that's true.
Nobody saw Rampage.
I saw it.
I saw it.
I didn't see it in theaters.
I don't like that they changed the story.
You are so crazy, Joe. You are so crazy
What?
for saying that.
It was
man.
bullshit.
Jay.
It was pretty
It's
much
kind
the
of bullshit.
story-
What?
It was pretty much the story in Congo, that movie with the ape with the lasers.
Yeah, that shit was. I mean, the thing about it too is that it's so easy to get. There's only one thing in Rampage: people turn into monsters. Like, I don't know how you fucked that up.
Well,
Like,
but that's the
That is
thing,
the
Jay.
simplest shit ever.
I mean,
like,
don't get me
People
wrong.
turn into giant monsters.
I
like-
agree. I
That
agree.
story is like I don't know how you fucked that up. Like so
Rampage-
badly.
Rampage grossed 428 million. Detective Pikachu grows 433. So already Detective Pikachu is the more successful movie.
But what about Sonic?
We don't talk about Sonic.
Because
It-
it's better than Detective
it-
Pikachu?
It did like 300 something
300 something what?
million. What did you think? Pesos?
Well, I'm saying, so it did less than Detective Pikachu, what you're saying?
306.8 million.
And can you not like mispronounce Pikachu, please?
For me
Pikachu.
or Oz?
You
I'm
said-
mispronouncing Pikachu?
yeah, you keep saying it wrong.
What am I
It's
saying?
not. It's not Pikachu.
Yeah, say it again.
Pikachu.
No, that's not how you say it.
How do you say it?
Well, how do you say pizzeria?
What are you talking about?
Say
What?
pizzeria. Say pizzeria.
Pizzeria.
Okay, now say Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Okay, that's how you say Pikachu.
What did I didn't
not-
say
it's
that
not-
before?
It's
No, you
not
want to say
Pika. It's
Yeah.
Pika.
Pika.
It's P, not P.
Oh, I was saying Pikachu
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
as opposed to
Pika.
Pikachu.
Yeah, Pikachu. Yeah.
Ah, Jesus. Guess what? You know what doesn't have my respect? Pikachu.
Oh, look,
Oh,
you didn't go back to Pikachu. That's all that matters.
Oh,
You
take
still
that.
haven't seen that movie, huh?
I haven't. Where can I watch the streaming for free?
Who cares? You don't watch it.
I'll watch it.
Let's get to the reviews. What do we got? We got any more news?
Wait, hold on though. So did Detective Pikachu? I'm sorry, I don't even know which one is the right one anymore. Pikachu or Pikachu?
Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Yeah.
Did Detective Pikachu make more money than Sonic?
Yes,
It did.
yes, by a lot.
It's a better movie.
Sonic
I know
made
you all told
300.
me.
Sonic made 300 and let's round up 307. Pikachu made 433.
Wait, so we're talking about globally.
Yeah, globally.
So was Sonic the bigger movie in the US?
Holy crap! What are you trying to do here?
No,
Like,
I'm
you're
just trying to.
looking for-
I'm just saying, like, Detective Pikachu came out before Sonic, right?
Yes.
And they were trying to say that Sonic set some sort of record. So I'm just saying, like, were they just lying?
It probably
Or
set
was
a record for like the week it came out, but not like all time.
Well, but Sonic is relatively new in the grand scheme of things, right?
Tiger Claw says nope. Sonic made more than Detective Pikachu.
I'm literally looking at the numbers: 306 versus 400 and something.
But you're talking about lifetime numbers.
Okay, they weren't that far apart, were they?
Yeah, there's like 2 years, right?
I think a year.
Yeah.
Sonic is not making more money next year than last year.
Because pandemic.
And I'm looking at straight up box office numbers. So that's not even including like digital sales and all that nonsense that would happen after the box office.
Yeah, but box office numbers still include, like, you know, when you go to like the dollar theater after the fact.
Right, but I'm saying I'm not counting like DVD sales. I'm assuming box office, when I see box office numbers, it doesn't include DVD sales, right?
But what I'm saying is, like, you literally just said the last movie you saw before that you saw was Sonic, which goes to show that was one of the last movies that came out in theaters before the pandemic. And now we're in the pandemic.
But it's not like the pandemic happened the day after it came out. Pandemic happened like weeks after.
It was literally the day after.
No.
So I'm on Engadget, and they're basically saying the Sonic the Hedgehog movie broke a record for video game movie debut.
Okay, gotcha.
So it was just that day.
For a video game movie's 3-day opening in the US, it pulled in 57 million compared to Detective Pikachu's 54.3 million.
That's still pretty close.
We're doing Heavy Metal Minute.
Yeah.
I only say that. I only mention that because I have to pee.
Yeah, we're doing the Heavy Metal Minute, and then Larry, you got that thing.
Let's do that because I really I'm about to pee all over the floor.
Yeah, I gotta go too.
I've had look.
Hey, just be quiet and go to the bathroom.
I've had this whole thing. Oh, I'm not even on camera anymore. All right.
No, you're not. Go to the bathroom. Come back.
Advertisers, this would be a time where you can promote to our listeners in this high quality program.
Hit the button.
You got the picture ready, Larry?
It's already up. Hit the button. Lawrence is hard at the button. Wait, is Mo hitting the button?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Something
I miss the days when I was in charge of the buttons.
Yeah. Why don't you get your shit straight and then you can get it.
Amber misses the day you were in charge of the buttons too.
Yeah.
She's been in charge of her own buttons for a long time.
All right, there you go. It's that time again for another Heavy Metal Minute. This week's Heavy Metal Minute was 38 minutes long. So I'm not even going to tell you what I was going to talk about there. It's a long Heavy Metal Minute. So it's going to be airing tomorrow as a separate show. It'll be on our Podbean until I find, Fantastic Forums Podbean until I actually find. In the meantime, get it there. So if you haven't subscribed to Fantastic Forum on Podbean or iTunes or Pandora or Spotify or Podshoe or Outcast, Boxcast, Castro, then do it, and you'll get Fraction of Forever, the standalone heavy metal show I'm doing now. In the meantime, we're talking about a herd immunity festival. A concert festival saying that you can come and get sick and watch a couple bands play, and then that's it. You build up herd immunity. Some of the acts that are playing were Static X, Dope, and Nonpoint. Those are the headliners, I guess. I guess what they did, it was supposed to be in Wyoming or Wisconsin in July on the 16th, 17th, and 18th. What they're doing, I guess, Static X was headlining one night, Nonpoint the other, Dope the other, and they would have some opening acts. But Powerman 5000's frontman, Spider One, he posted on Twitter some criticisms. He put a bunch of bands that I consider peers and some friends are partaking in a show called Herd Immunity Fest, which by the title is basically saying to their fans, come see us and we hope you get sick. What the actual fuck? On Nonpoint's official account, they responded to Spider One saying, hey brother, Nonpoint is not playing because of the way that festival is named. We have dropped off. So for some reason, the festival was still selling $100 tickets and promoting Nonpoint. But yeah, so that's one of the weird things about it. They're still promoting them. The Q and Z Expo Center deleted their initial announcement and posted new flyers without the name Herd Immunity Fest. But they did release a statement. They said, for the record, the venue's land can accommodate up to 10,000 occupancy, 10,000 people occupancy. This is an outdoor event for 3 days. We are only selling 20% of that, so anyone has the choice and ability to social distance. The festival is also not called Herd Immunity, and the name no longer tied to any of our social media promotion. According to the flyer, though, 2 hours before this article was written on Metal Injection, they're still promoting Nonpoint. So we'll see how that goes. And speaking of herd immunity, the Red Rocker, Sammy Hagar, he's known as one of the best frontmen in history. He fronted his own band, Sammy Hagar, and Van Halen, the legendary Van Halen. So he is critical. Look, the headlines make it seem like he's critical about socially distancing and stuff, but it's really more about he can't live without touring. He can't live without performing. That's his lifeblood. That's his income. But even that's not like the big issue. He just loves doing it. So, and he hates the idea that he can't hug his kids when they visit. Like he's over it. He's over the fucking virus, which I think is a sentiment that we all have. It's just a little scary out there. Oops. Dropped my water bottle. But yeah, so he basically is saying, can we just like instead of selling 19,000 seats, can we just sell 10,000? Maybe do some sanitizing stations and hand out masks. So he's all for taking precautions, but he says we got to get out there, and to a certain degree it can, but it should be, you shouldn't miss out on stuff because you're trying to social distance. But it's really becoming a personal choice for these things now. Everything from wearing a mask to taking precautions, which is it's odd because it's we're all kind of in it together. We're all floating around in the same membrane of oxygen and whatnot. So yeah, it's a little odd, but yeah, he wants to get back to touring. Now he does say that not to like open up now. Like he says to when the time is right. We know everybody's predicting fall 2021, so he's talking about then, like still, because he doesn't think they're gonna have a cure or treatment or even vaccines by then. So he's like, let's just do it and still open up on our projected date with a lot more precautions. That's basically what he's saying. So yeah, some people are very are getting that a little twisted when he says they're going just by the headline, but I try not to, even though sometimes I do. Rage Against the Machine has seen an uptick in streaming numbers, 62% increase in streaming on all platforms. And to celebrate, this YouTuber made a Bulls on Parade Mambo number 5 mashup. So I don't think that's why we're getting the 62% that mashup, but it was a very, very jarring experience listening to that. You have the instrumentals, the heavy track, Bulls on Parade off of Evil Empire. And then you have Lou Bega's vocals for Mambo number 5 over it. So it was a little strange. But yeah, don't forget to tune into Fraction of Forever tomorrow sometime. Just subscribe to all our social media and all that, and you'll get an alert and you can download it and all whatnot. I'm Moses Magnum. This has been a Heavy Metal Minute.
Comic book
Review.
comic book
Like
Review.
well, not like that, but like
All right.
I like
job.
Non-Point.
yeah.
Say what?
I like Non-Point.
They had the Spider-Man logo, huh? The spider.
Yeah, I presented that band to you guys a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Back when
They-
we were
they-
playing music during our breaks, that was one of my songs, and I mentioned I liked. They got my attention because they had the Spider-Man logo, but then I really liked their song "Breaking Skin."
Oh,
It's on my it's one of my gym songs. Like gets me really pumped up.
There's one of those. They are one of those bands that have managed to last. That little wave of new metal, the urban metal or rap metal stuff, new metal as they call it. Not all of it was rapping, but there's a lot of stuff that raps that isn't even considered new metal, and it kind of does. Like the shit you heard while I was talking, Cradle of Filth, like he rhymes and it has cadence almost like rap. If he wasn't growling or screeching, you could be, and you had a beat on it instead of like guitars and shit, it could be rap. But yeah, there's few bands that lasted and can still sell out venues.
It was just weird. I wasn't expecting to hear their name on a heavy metal minute. I mean, I know they're considered new metal. I didn't consider them like heavy metal.
Yeah, but that's the thing about metal. There is a lot of subgenres, and you can't ignore them because even if they're the crappiest band, they have like a good song. A good song that came out when that little bit, that subgenre of metal actually put metal in the forefront for the second wave. You had the first wave, which was like your Metallicas and all those. Then you had like the new wave, which was like your Panteras and Fear Factories. And then new metal was like the third wave when the critics said that metal didn't exist anymore. It wasn't, and those bands kind of had it at the forefront. Even if you don't like them, like, Limp Bizkit and Korn and shit like that, Power Man 5000, they were in that wave, but they still had it in the headlines. You know, that was just
Limp
the new
Bizkit is
sound.
considered new metal.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
Yeah. yeah, they're one of like I wouldn't say pioneers, but they're like one of the first. And even Kid Rock got into that, like with that album, "The Devil Without a Cause." That was his new metal album, even though he had like 4 hip hop albums before. That was his like breakthrough success hit was "Devil Without a Cause" because it was a new metal album. Like it was marketed to new metal fans. And
Is Disturbed considered new metal? Because Homeboy tries to rap, and actually, I think his rapping songs are like the worst. I like the songs where he sings.
Yeah, you have like there's the people that do the rapping thing a little better, like Linkin Park was like the king of those.
Another band that I love.
Yeah, I mean they still managed to outlast that trend and still be successful beyond it, even though they're from that, you know, there's just those few bands that just stick around. A lot of those bands just stick around without like, you know, really like making waves, but they can still tour, and that's how they make all their money anyway. So
So Linkin Park thinks of themselves as a metal band.
well, that's how they started. Like,
No, I mean, I'm just asking. I'm like, you know, I mean, no, really, like in almost in the same way how, you know, like, I mean, I understand that some bands can start in a particular place and then end up in a different place. Like,
yeah,
you know, Black Eyed Peas started off as a hip hop group.
yeah.
I don't know if Black Eyed Peas thinks of themselves as a hip hop group now. They might.
I don't
don't know.
The thing with Linkin Park is they've always considered themselves as themselves. Like they just make the music that they want to make, but the stuff they were making at the beginning fit that new metal like cubby at the Sam Goody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, I hear that.
And that a lot of stuff gets like I honestly like if music was just buying the records by the title and not the genre, like people would make better music and enjoy more music, you know.
No, I agree.
Me included, because I'm super close-minded when it comes to this shit. So I think I would have.
He's like, it could be all metal, but if you call it hip hop, I don't want to hear it.
Well, it's not even like
that's not you. That's your brother.
Yeah, I'm not gonna look at that section. Although that fool loves like Raekwon and shit. Like, he talks mad shit. But this fool used to call me from hip hop concerts. Like, you would see him at the House of Blues and shit, Ghostface Killer and all this shit. You know, so he loved it. He just, you know, he's like born again.
All right, so let's get into some reviews because we're like, shoot, I mean, we are freaking running up against some time constraints.
How much time we have on StreamYard?
You know what? I think like
we have an hour on StreamYard.
StreamYard, we're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you know, we don't want to lose anybody else.
Okay. Batman the Smile Killer.
All right, let's talk about it. Go for it, Moses.
This is the Black Label. When I presented it to you guys yesterday, Oz told me it's like a part 3 and something. And this, as far as I knew, this was a one shot. So I read it. I don't have the picture to put. You know what? I might have it. Let me. While I talk.
I got the book right here.
Oh, you have it. All right. Yeah, there you go. It's written by Jeff Lemire, which is one of my favorite writers, and Andrea Sorrentino. So those two together working on something.
Inverted.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's inverted.
You have to invert your webcam.
No, I have to switch it to the other thing. Sorry. I'll see if I can find a picture.
Yeah. But
no, I like it's facing the wrong direction if I switch the camera.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, let me see. I'll probably have it here. But either way, you know, those two dudes making a comic for DC is like, man, that's like a new 52 wet dream, you know? That amount of talent. And they did it here for DC Black Label. And let's see.
You keep talking. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, I have it. But
you do?
Yeah. The thing about it is that it's just it's a reimagining. It's, you know, it's their Vertigo, their Elseworlds, you know. this Black Label. So they tell you this story about Batman who basically grew up watching a clown on TV telling him to smile and shit, and he became a psycho killer and killed Thomas Wayne. Yeah. Now I didn't know what I was getting when I read this.
Yeah, me neither.
I picked it up. I was gonna read it, and that's it.
And from what I told you is this book. It is one shot, but it's also the epilogue to Joker Killer Smile, which is also a Lemire book.
Okay, so it is the epilogue then, huh?
Yeah, but it's also a one shot. So I'm assuming you can read it without reading the other three. And I mean, you read it and you didn't read the other three, so it makes
Yeah.
sense, right?
I did feel like I was going to be more lost than I actually was. So,
I mean, it feels like another book is coming after this.
yeah,
Like, you know, because I mean, I read it and I was like, okay, so when's the next one come out?
now this is one of these things where I love the art so much, you know, like because it switches in tone and it's the same person doing it, and so like it opens up with little Bruce Wayne. I don't know if you guys can see this. There we go. Little Bruce Wayne watching the TV, and it's a Joker analog talking about. You get a sense pretty early on that it's um a psychotic break for him, and then it plays off later. So I don't know what it's leading into or what it's kicking off, but I think I'm in. Here's a picture of Batman doing Batman things. I really like it.
Batman doing Batman things.
Now knowing that this is an epilogue to another story, does that make you want to pick up the Killer Smile story?
Yeah,
It's all
I
Lemire.
would mess with it.
yeah, I would definitely do that. The fact that it's an epilogue, it's like thinking of it as a one-shot reimagining thing is like, I can enjoy it and see it and see the creativity in it. But the fact that it's an epilogue where I don't feel lost at the start of it, like I do feel lost in that what they're doing with Batman, this reimagining thing. But that's what you read these books for, and move forward and continue reading them till they're done. And but it didn't feel like an epilogue. I didn't feel like I had to read a book that came before it. So yeah, I really enjoyed. Like Andrea Sorrentino, I don't even know what. I know. I think they did Gravity Falls, which with Jeff Lemire, which is going to be turned into a TV. So I'm going to hate that. But there is fantasticforum.podbean.com. We do review it there, Gravity Falls, so you can check that review before it was turned into a TV show. But I remember liking it, but I didn't. Once I found out it was going to be a TV show, I stopped reading it because what's the fucking point?
Right.
Now he got all my money without me having to give him any.
That's it.
And then they could ruin it and do whatever, and then I don't have to care because I didn't keep reading the book. So yeah, Jordi Belair does I believe the colors, and it is a Batman psychotic break story, which we've gotten in the past. This one's a little different. I don't know how it's gonna pay off. Usually like you have that story where the parents didn't die, and then Bruce Wayne has memories of being Batman, and they're illusions, but they're caused by like the Mad Hatter. Like we've seen those, or Scarecrow. We've seen those. So this one is like, I don't know who's causing it. I don't know if it's even it. Like it just feels like it's just the Batman delusion, But that's because I also didn't read Killer Smile. So I guess if I go, Oz, you read Killer Smile, right? Are you there? You want to go pee again?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess yeah. I guess it overtook him.
We'll just sit here and wait.
Or not. Like he'll be back eventually.
I miss the moments where I could like talk to him and he's not there, but then not see the empty void that he left.
Right. This is the pitfalls of video.
Yeah. But
I've-
yeah,
Oh, there he is.
you got a hat.
Damn it, Oz, ruining shows. Can you hear us? Not yet. Oh, now you can hear us. Damn it, Oz, ruining shows. Oh, you're muted, you son of a bitch.
My bad. I broke the seal during the heavy metal movie. You guys know how that goes. What were you guys saying?
As said, Oz walked off the set.
I had it with you fuckers.
I was wondering if you read the Killer Smile.
No,
Okay.
I wasn't even interested in it, to be honest. Now, if you're saying this Batman book is good, then that might get me to
it
go
is.
back and take a look at it. But
Well, what I was my question is like, what was Batman like in those? Because here it's like he's in Arkham and it's a delusion of him being Batman that he's suffering from, and he has homicidal tendencies and schizophrenia. But I don't, he keeps saying that they did that to him to believe that, they put him there, they fucked with him. So I don't know from reading the other one how that plays into this story like that. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, and I haven't read those books. The only Black Label books that I read that involve the Joker are the Harley books. And those are obviously a Harley Quinn story. There's a lot of Hardy and Joker in the DC Black Label.
Yeah.
Because there's Harleen, there's Killer Smile, and then there's Mad Love, which is Harley and Joker together, which I also haven't read because it just seems like it's too much at this point.
Listen, it's interesting you say
There's
that.
also Harley Quinn on the Birds of Prey.
I forgot about that, which
That is
should
Black
be-
Label too.
That's now on my pull list with Midtown Comics.
It's interesting you say that though, just because I know for me, like I read this book and I liked it. It's a good book and it's interesting, but something I also felt during the course of this book was like, man, you know what? I might be like experiencing a little bit of Joker fatigue. Like I may like need a break because it's just like, I mean, especially considering that it's like the DC universe may not necessarily like by all means the DC universe has the most iconic superheroes in the world, period. Like you can't even, anyone that wants to argue that is just wrong if they're not saying yes. However, it's not like they have like the largest staple of amazing heroes, you know what I mean?
I know that the big thing in DC right now is the death metal,
Right.
but people forget that they're also doing a Joker War storyline.
Right,
So
right.
It's like you're getting nonstop Joker for the last
Like
2 or 3
back
years.
to back to back to back, and that's what I'm saying. And that's the thing is like DC. What DC does have is a good staple of amazing villains. Now, don't get me wrong, almost all of them are Batman villains, but there's still an amazing staple of villains, even if they do happen to all come from maybe the same heroes like circle. But you still have like your Lex Luthors, and like Darkseid is not a Batman villain. Like Darkseid has a lot of potential. It's like there's villains that are like, I would say that DC probably has more iconic villains than they do iconic heroes. So for it to be a thing where you keep getting like Joker, it's kind of like, dude, I get it. He's popular. But it's like, Joker is almost being pushed down our throats like how they were pushing Batman down our throats not that long ago. Or now. However you want to say it. It's like DC finally decided to diversify a little bit. And so it's not all Batman. But
And
there was
that's
a
kind of
point where
why I love the Harley Quinn cartoon, because they could have easily made it like Joker centric, like having.
Well, I would argue the first season might be.
That's another show.
Okay.
We already did 45 minutes last week on it. So
right.
checking the middle of the end on Podbean. Subscribe. But yeah, but this second season, like, again, it it has enough Joker in it, and it does what it does to push
Right.
him out. You know,
I agree.
and it's refreshing. Now, I don't read DC like that, so I don't feel that fatigue because none of anything that's been coming out I'm interested in, so I don't give a shit. But this I was, because I like the
Lemire.
cover. I like the team. Well, the team, you know,
Yeah.
like it's the Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls? No. What is it? Something Falls. Team, and I guess it's the Daredevil team or the Wolverine team. Like they did a Marvel book together too, the same team.
Hmm.
So like seeing they do a Marvel book together, Image book together, and now a DC book together, I want to check it out.
Yeah. No, the book was great. Like, I can't really knock it.
It kind of
It's-
reminded me of Becky as well. If you had
So
because of the whole psychotic kid thing, like he was always meant to be psychotic. It's just a different catalyst, you know.
yeah.
And with Batman or what he is in this book, and reading this after watching Becky, I was like, oh, okay, we got a thing going. But you didn't watch Becky, so it's not like anybody benefits. And Joe probably didn't read this book, right?
Say again?
Did you read this book, Joe?
Yeah.
Oh, you read it?
Right.
Okay.
It was interesting, but I don't know. There was just something about it. It didn't sit right with me. Like, I'm not 100% sure what it was, but like, I know part of it was that, yeah, we've seen Batman delusion stories before. Um, that one, uh, Batman the Animated Series episode where he's being thought controlled by Mad Hatter. Like, that's a fucking classic episode. And
Yeah.
it's like somewhat similar. And I don't know, it just reminded me of like a bunch of things. Like, even though what was there was interesting, I still couldn't help, like, I don't know, there was just something about it I wasn't really feeling. And the art didn't help. Like,
You didn't like
wasn't really feeling the art style. Yeah, I don't know. The book just rubbed me the wrong way, or it caught me at the wrong time. Being black labeled definitely didn't help it.
you have a predisposition
Yeah,
like label books.
yeah, there's too much censorship in Black Label. It's like
Really?
every panel, I have to wonder whether it was censored or not, and whether it's the artist's true vision.
He's like, where's that penis?
My issue with Black Label is more of like, okay, they probably had an initial vision of it, but then they threw that out the window, and then just started to do more marketing things. You know, you see with the
Right.
Ray stuff, the Joker stuff. Like, I want to see a Green Arrow one. You know, I want to see the question we got, but that was really good. I didn't get to finish that on the air, but it was really good. You guys should check out our review on Podbean and read the rest of it.
Fair. So, I mean, I guess we all. Oh no, Oz, you didn't read this, right?
No.
Okay. So, what would everybody rate it then? Batman, the Smile Killer. Like, what would you rate it, Jay?
Maybe like a 2.5, 2, probably
2, 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Moses Magnum.
I would give it a good 4. I really enjoyed it, and knowing that there's something that came before it, whilst not reading that, still being able to enjoy it as much as I did, it gives it a bonus. And yeah, so 4 out of 5. 4 scissor eye pokes out of 5.
Real quick, because I said the Joker Harley story, I called it Criminal Insanity. I was probably thinking of the Hack Ross painting because
Ross.
that's what we're calling him, right?
That's not what I call him. That's what
what
Joe
Yeah.
calls him.
Yeah.
This guy.
I think that's what we all call him.
No.
The actual story title is Criminal Sanity.
Okay. So I liked
The
it.
dude is a hack.
I liked it. I would give Batman the Smile Killer 4 out of 5 as well. I thought it was a good book. Shall we talk about
You know,
oh go ahead.
I just realized that I don't think Alex Ross would like actually come across our show, but if he did, now he could see me. I don't
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
that anonymity barrier anymore.
Oh, he would
Yeah.
he would he
So-
knows who you are already.
Well, I
I
said
just
Hack
want to
Ross.
take the time. I just want to point out to Mr. Ross that yes, you are a hack. You're overrated.
Damn. Okay, Jay. Look, you gonna catch those hack hands.
You want to kill him?
you gonna catch those hack hands. He's like, oh, I'm
Well,
a hack.
he only kicks because his hands are prized possessions.
That's his money maker.
He only
He's like,
kicks,
let me drop kick the hell out of this fool.
you know, he reserves his right to carry a weapon to bear arms.
He's like, see this face?
He's like, let me use this bat.
Hilarious. He's like, I'm not even gonna
That's the paper.
soil my hands with this nonsense.
Like, they're not worth your blood.
Oh, too funny, man.
Since he can see us now, yeah, Alex Ross is a true treasure.
I want to
Now
say
I-
national treasure, but
Yeah.
he's actually a gift to the world.
Yeah, and you said that before, but yeah, I just want to differentiate from Joe's view. None of all our like the four of us, like none of our views are necessarily embraced or shared by all of us.
There are very few things I think we all agree on.
Yeah,
That's how you know something's really good or really bad.
yeah,
Like if we're all saying the same thing, because it's not like we all have similar tastes. Like our tastes vary.
yeah.
So if we all think it's bad, then your joint's probably terrible. And we all think it's good, then your joint's probably great. Like, you know. Yeah, man. It's a tough crowd, that Fantastic Forum group.
We're analytics. I'm sorry, analytics.
Jay, do you want to talk about Creature?
Yes, Creature Volume 1. So, Creature Volume 1 is about two friends on the basketball team, and one of them is like one of the reservists, but when one of the openers gets sick, the friend gets chosen to start. And so we have these two friends are both starting, and the star player, E.G., he makes a bet with the other guy, Akira. And it's whoever scores the most points gets to confess to their childhood friend. And so there's an earthquake, and Akira runs into the equipment room. He actually did that before the earthquake started. And when the earthquake started, a bookshelf fell on him. And when he woke up, there were monsters and dead bodies everywhere. And so he meets the class president and two other students. and they're running for their lives from monsters that have just started appearing everywhere after this earthquake. Um, their cell phones don't work, of course, because like monster comic. Like, there's no explanation.
Because movie
But
monster comic.
yeah, and so
I love the
yeah,
cover.
they have to run and try to get away from all the monsters, but their city is surrounded by monsters. It's infested with monsters. And right now, it just appears to be their city because when they're looking at the news, they're talking about how a dog bit someone and doesn't mention monsters at all. So they're basically just on the run for their lives. It only seems to be their city that's affected. There's a giant hole in the ground. We don't know where that came from, but monsters probably came out of it. And then they're just trying to get to the train station because I think there might be help there. And yeah, that's Creature Volume 1. And this book is great. I love the visuals. Like, I wouldn't say the art style is necessarily what gets me, but it's what's in the art. Like, there's one scene where a monster opens its maw and you can see like all the body parts that got stuck in its mouth. Like, that kind of imagery is like super cool. One thing I will say is that this is probably a lot better physically because uh, a lot of the pages are like double page spreads, so it's loses a little bit digitally, or because my tablet isn't big enough to support that. Um, but other than that, yeah, I was loving this. It was amazing. Lawrence, you said you got to read the first issue
I did.
of the
I did.
first volume?
I didn't read the first volume, but I did read the first issue on Comixology. And
Right.
yeah, it was interesting. It was real interesting. It was wild just because I didn't know anything about it going in, and so I was reading, and I'm just like, where is this going? And it definitely kind of felt like it starts off like it's kind of almost going to be like a slice of life kind of deal, and then the creature aspect comes into it, and then you're just like, okay, this is not what that was going to be at all. And
Right. It's interesting how Japanese horror does that sometimes.
yeah,
Like, I don't know if you remember, but Dragonhead also had a similar type opening where the kids are on a school trip on the train, everything is fine, and then earthquake, and then people are monsters. So
oh
it's
look,
like,
that's a recurring theme in manga and anime: earthquake and then terrible.
yeah, like I think there's like the Japanese have like an innate fear of earthquakes
Well, listen,
because like
earthquakes over that way are terrible.
Well, here too,
right.
we're on the same line of seismic activity.
Are
We-
we?
Yeah, it's the Ring of Fire. It goes
I
all the
just
way.
kind of feel though, like haven't they had a lot more terrible earthquakes than we've had?
Well, they get an
recent-
earthquake over there sets off a tsunami.
Yeah, because they're on
Oh.
the island.
That's what it is then. That
Here
makes a lot more
we
sense.
get warnings, but we don't get a tsunami.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
there was a earthquake in Mexico and
Yeah.
Guatemala and El Salvador right now, and
yeah.
El Salvador had their own issue with flooding and everything, and
Mhm.
on top of it, a week later, it's like, but it's all part of that Ring of Fire.
I remember there was a tsunami warning in California one day, and people drove up to Santa Monica to take pictures.
Yeah.
No, we know it's not going to really be a tsunami.
It wasn't, but
I know.
I still consider those people stupid.
I mean, but it's not going to be a tsunami. Like,
Oh,
So,
it sounds like
So
you went.
I I didn't go because I don't go take pictures of natural disasters. But what I'm saying is, if we actually, by the time we actually have a tsunami level earthquake, nobody's going to be trying to go anywhere except outside of the rubble.
I'm reading Creature
so the
on Comixology right now,
oh,
and they make you read right to left.
yeah, like
Yeah.
the manga,
Yeah.
and it's there's no guided view,
No.
and it just reads right to left, which I like. Like it made me realize I don't think I have that much manga on Comixology
Yeah.
because I don't think I've noticed that before.
Well,
Mhm.
the ones I've read didn't have
But
this fixed thing. This little a pop up came. This is manga fixed reading. I've never had that warning, even though I've
Mhm.
read several manga here. So it's the first time they actually do it,
oh, okay.
which
Hey,
means
basically,
they
like, if you don't
probably
like it, then shove it.
go fuck yourself. But what I think what it is that they're not. It's not somebody importing it to publish it here like Dark Horse or Viz or nobody licensed it. It's just directly from the creators through Comixology, which is cool too.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish I had the option to just read it how I read everything.
It's like I wanted to read it how I read.
Right.
I mean,
And I think the
it's not that hard.
creatures actually have kind of interesting designs. Like,
Are they
or
affected
I should
by
say,
reading,
they
like
don't feel familiar. Say again?
are they affected by being read left to right?
The
Yes.
monsters?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
They are affected by something, but we're not sure. Or they're just scared of holes. We don't
Like
know yet.
like Gears of War.
But
'Cause that's what happens in Gears of War. You have an earthquake and then shit they come out and then you blow up the hole and then they don't come out anymore.
You're right, Mo. Gears of War is a manga.
But it's left to right.
It's American manga.
That doesn't
yeah,
sound as good.
I like this. It's has a real classic feel. It's actually pretty old. Like it's new on Comixology,
Yeah. I saw it was
but
from
this is
2010.
from like 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, why does everybody have flip phones? And then I saw it was 2010. I'm like, oh.
Right.
Yeah. Not that I had a flip phone in 2010.
Although in Japan you would think they had better things.
I think they were thinking about their American audience.
Yeah. Well, they should have thought of that when I'm reading it right to left.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I not sure. Is there anything else that I should mention, Lawrence?
I mean, it's hard for me to say only because I only got to read the first issue. Like even you talking about the creature, like the creature like design, it's like I can only like I agree with you, but at the same time I can't agree with you wholeheartedly only because technically when you get to the end of the first issue, you only see like a silhouette. So I don't even know what the whole creature looks like. But what I do know is that it has like what looks like hands, and all of the fingers have mouths on it, and that's very unfamiliar. Even though I don't know that I've definitely seen enough creatures with mouths in places that mouths don't belong, but I don't know that I've seen a creature with mouths on their fingertips, which I guess aren't even necessarily fingertips.
If you keep Oh, okay. If you keep reading volume 1 or up to volume 1, there is a panel in there that you're not going to like.
I mean,
It
there was already
involves
panels I didn't
glass.
like. There's already panels I didn't like.
And the eye.
Oh, see, always with these eyes. This was Joe's week. He was trying to get me to get all the eye stuff. He's like, "Oh, you got bad vision? How about this terrible eye thing? That didn't happen to you, right?" He's like, "You didn't have to cut off your optical nerve with safety scissors, did you? Why are you complaining?" Yes, Jay, you're right.
Right.
I didn't have to use safety scissors to cut my optical nerve. You're right.
But I think I would give this, if I had to rate it, I would definitely give it like a 4.
I liked it too. At least the first issue that I read. I would give it a 4 out of 5 as well.
And if you're listening, the first issue is free on Comixology. So if it sounds interesting, you could check it out with no risk.
I actually just grabbed
Yeah.
the first issue and without reading it, just swiping in the opposite direction, I gave it a 3. Like, I like the art style.
Nice.
Like the gray tones are good, and like you said, the monsters are interesting looking. Add that to the fact that they come out of out of an earthquake. I'm in. I like
There
it.
it is.
More like shine holes.
Who doesn't?
That's a good point.
Now I
All
can.
right.
Cool.
So, is it Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey next?
Is this the-
Okay. So this is another Black Label book.
Now this is
Full of
issue 2.
censorship. This one was definitely censored.
This
Oh,
is
go
issue
ahead.
2 to the book that you reviewed, I think, last week, right? Is it last week or the week before? But I think it was last week.
It wasn't last week. It was a few weeks ago, I thought.
I thought it
Like,
was
they're not
last
coming
week
out week to week.
because, that's true, but I thought you probably got it late because of the
No, I got it
corona-
right when it.
Okay, but
No,
it's
it
the same.
was-
It's the same book. You were mad that they didn't have the cover that you wanted because it was a really cool cover, right?
Right.
Okay, I just want to make sure
Yeah,
I got
this
the right
is a
book.
continuation of that.
Okay,
Yeah. So yeah, there's a fuck ton of censorship in this one,
How do you
and
know?
because there's like no nudity in it.
Oh, okay. And you
was
feel like they
So
wanted to draw them nude?
yeah, there are lots of there's nudity, but it's all covered up, just like the
Mhm.
last book.
Got it.
So it's just like them airbrushing out Batman's junk.
now,
Right.
It just
Is this-
reeks of censorship.
is this the same book that wants to like undo the Harley Quinn Ivy relationship thing?
No, that's the regular series. This one actually has her. Ivy is on her wish list of things she wants. And so the story for this one is it takes place after the first book. Harley's crew has been burned out of their building, and so she comes back to Gotham to get revenge on the guy that did it. And Montoya wants her out of Gotham because she's too chaotic. And she's like, well, no, I'm going to do my thing, but I'll give you the Joker's address. And it's 3 different places that he uses hideouts for. So while she does her thing, Montoya, Cassandra Cain, Batgirl, Huntress, and Black Canary go raid the Joker's hideouts, eventually finding him and his new sidekick. I don't remember what her name is,
punchline.
but she was censored.
Yes, it's not Punchline.
I don't think it's Punchline.
He has another sidekick that's not Punchline.
And
In this, it does.
Okay.
yeah. And so yeah, so they get Joker. Batgirl uses him as a shield, and then they roll him off into Arkham. And yeah, this one, the art is okay. Really censored. But I don't know, the story felt okay. It was just okay, I guess, is what I think. What did you think, Lawrence?
From what I read, I would agree 100%. Just okay. It's like, but I wasn't a big fan of the first book.
You read the first one?
I did.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember if you did or not.
Yeah.
How did you feel as a follow-up to that? Like, does it flow well?
I mean, it flows well enough, I guess, but I mean, in the sense though that it kept the same level of disappointment. It's like I don't know if that's a good thing. Like, it could have technically rose to the occasion, but it didn't.
Okay.
So yeah, I can't recommend this joint.
I would give it a 3. Like, it's okay.
Nah, it's a 2.
Like, it's middle of the line.
That's where 2.5 is.
Yeah.
It might be a 2.
And again, part of it is the black labelness of it. Like, I kind of wish I hadn't gotten that first one, because then I wouldn't feel the need to get this one.
Oh, well, you can stop abusing
But I
yourself
think I
whenever
like
you're
the
ready,
first
Jay.
one a little better.
Yeah.
Oh, say again?
I said you can stop abusing yourself whenever you're ready, Jay. You don't have to read these books. Like, there's other comics that come out every week now.
Well, I mean, there's only one more. According to Oz, they normally come out in things of 3. Like, I can get through 3 books.
I don't know how many times I got to tell you, don't listen to Oz.
Well, that is how the books are, because technically Smile Killer, like the Batman Smile Killer one shot, would be the 4th, but it was put out as an epilogue. And an epilogue is part of the story, which would make it part of the trilogy. So it's a quadrilogy that's technically a trilogy. So
see why you don't listen to Oz? Right here.
Ipso facto, I'm correct.
You showed us.
The Hitchhiker's trilogy had like 5 books in it.
Oh, there you go.
But was that Black Label?
No, that was good.
So yeah, I'd give it 2.5 or
yeah,
2
we
and
can
a
move
quarter.
on.
Yeah, the end.
Yeah. I wish it were better, because I love the team. Like, I love the team.
You don't feel like the team is forced? I mean, I know that
the creative team.
Oh, the creative team. Got you. I thought you meant like the group of characters. Because I mean, I know that we know
the group,
that it's like because of the movie, but even though that's what it is, that doesn't mean that it can still feel not forced, but it feels forced to me.
No, you're right, a little bit. And it's weird because there is a passage of time, like Batgirl and Cassandra just kind of come out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Or I should say Barbara and Cassandra just kind of come out of nowhere. And I like that she's mute, though. Like, that's one thing the movie fucked up that they got right.
I guess.
Although I think they expected this book to go off crazy because of the movie. Right. I think that's what we talked about when you reviewed the first issue.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can move. Hopefully, the next one will be better.
Are you gonna review
Oh nope, nope. He's not.
Say again.
He's not gonna
Are you
review
gonna
that
review
one.
that one too?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna review it. But we've started. It's too late to stop. The fuck train has no brakes.
What? What? See, that's how you get locked up.
Look, that's how you lose your voiceover.
You better freaking pull the emergency cord on that bad boy.
Yeah.
All right, what else do we need to talk about before we get out of here?
I wanted to talk about that movie Blood Machines, but nobody watched it.
What movie? Blood Machines.
Yeah. This was like
The
3
one that was on Shutter, which is not a part of Verve anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, is that on Disney
Like
Plus?
I wanted to, but I don't want to waste use my trial for it in case I need it later. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. But you should at least watch the trailer because one of the things, like we talked about Doom Annihilation and how terrible it looked, the special effects and everything. This movie is like, I want to say like a third of that budget, and the special effects look way better.
Okay.
And it's from the dude from shit, what's that band name? I wrote it down here in my notes. Give me a second.
Which band is it?
No, 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 no.
No.
Oh, Death Spell Omega. He's that's a black metal band, and then the guy does the music for it, and this filmmaker did the movie, but it's like it's the sequel to a music video they did for the guy from Death Spell Omega's like techno band, and yeah, so if you can watch that, it's called God damn it, I don't have those notes. But that dude, he did I think it's called Righteous Kill or something Kill. But it's a music video, and it kind of you can see where if you watch Blood Machines, like how it could be a sequel to it per se. But the special effects are just great, and I wish Doom Annihilation did it. And that's really why I wanted to talk about it. Is like, yeah, it did what Doom Annihilation couldn't do on Shudder.
Okay.
Yeah. Just watch the trailer, Blood Machines trailer. It's on YouTube. Our new partners that don't like Heck in chat's like the what train?
Exactly.
All right, I'll play this wrap up music and we'll get the fuck out of here. I'll go rest off this illness.
Don't die, Mo. You don't have permission to die. All right. Jay, why don't you give us some final thoughts, buddy?
You know, there are kind of so many final thoughts in my head right now that I will be hard pressed to pick one of them. So I'm just gonna leave you with that.
Oz, final thoughts.
The last episode of Stargirl was good. Go watch that.
Fair.
It's better than the entire first season of Batwoman.
Like Stargirl successfully rolled over that bar. Mo's Magnum, final thoughts.
If you want to hear me rant about metal for like 38 minutes, subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Fantastic Forum on iTunes, Castro, Castbox, Stitcher, Pandora, all them. Fantastic Forum. You'll get to hear the pilot episode of Fraction Forever, a 38-minute long heavy metal movie.
38 heavy metal minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate you. We'll be back next week. Make sure that you follow us on all the things that Moses just mentioned beforehand, because Lord knows we got so much stuff. I don't even know all the stuff we have yet. I'll get it together. It's my fault. It's not you. So thank you very much. We'll be back next week. Until then, follow us. You should still follow us on our Instagram. It's Fantastic Forum. Till next week, we're out.